And I've seen a lot of cops, I've seen a lot of lawyers pull out all the stops. I've seen a lot of children with their parents in their hands. I've felt a lot of women who refuse to understand. Well, I don't think I understand why we're making such a fuss. And I don't think I understand what's come of all of us. And I don't think I understand why we take the world for granted. I just want to get right back to Guitar Players Planet. You see it in the papers, you read it every day. The riots and the fires going on in South LA. The muggers and the government, they're all wanting the same thing. They take you for your money and whatever else bring. Well, I don't think I understand why we're making such a fuss. And I don't think I understand what's come of all of us. And I don't think I understand why we take this world for granted. I just want to get right back to Guitar Players Planet. Take me. I just want to get right back to Guitar Players Planet. 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 What you thought was real sunny skies, the smell of palm tree air. Looking back, I could never feel fair. The way the music has touched my soul, the way that the South holds its control. But I've got a new way to choose. I'm gonna start running back to the land of the new. Oh, na 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 na.
And we're here. How's it going, everybody?
Let me get my headset on. I forgot to put on. Let's see. Sorry, let me get my headset on.
I may need to adjust my volume down.
There we go. Sorry, give me one more second. I apologize, everybody. How's it going? It's another Wednesday night on AstroWorld, and thank you for everybody for showing up. I see we got a whole bunch of people on early already, so thank you for hanging out in the chat and waiting for us while we kind of figure things out here again. Thank you so much for coming in and everybody. So I can't hear anybody though. So
Can you hear me?
Give me 1 second, because I think I'm on the wrong thing. There we go. Good. Yeah, we're good. It's me.
You're a little soft, Eric.
Am I a little soft?
Yeah, you're soft.
Okay.
Yeah, very.
Okay. Let me go into my
Yeah.
Let me just do that. Unmute site. There we go. Beautiful. We're on. Okay, thank you. Sorry about that. So we got a couple of things to go over first. Eric, let me hear your level real quick.
Testing.
Higher.
Testing.
Hold on. Nope. Let me
Higher,
do it.
much
I got
higher.
it. Go ahead. Try again.
Testing. One,
There we
two.
go. There you go. Yeah, I don't know why you went all the way down to the bottom.
Okay.
There, you're good.
Sounds good.
All right. So we got a bunch of stuff going on as usual, and it's a wonderful to have everybody on. And I see we got already in the chat. We got Tom Bramwell, who unfortunately was second this time and not first. Greg Meyer, literally, Greg Meyer. Like as soon as I threw the link out there, he rushed in there to get in front of Tom. So I actually called him a cheater online. So and I hate tooting my own horn here, but I got about 4 comments in there about the music in the beginning. And for those of you that don't know, I see a bunch of people that are kind of new to the station, including Mihalo, and there was somebody else that said David. Thank you for the comments. That music is actually my band. So that if you want it, let me know. I'll send it to you. I guess for some reason I got the green screen on me again. But anyway, again, I see Sean. Thanks, Sean Nielsen is on. Thank you for hanging out with us again. Frank, Eddie, all you guys, Ron.
We got a lot of new people here. Captain 404. He's just been on for. I've only seen him maybe on once or twice so far. I think he's a new subscriber.
Yep. We got a bunch of new subscribers this week, and again, thank you for everybody who has joined the team, and the support's just awesome. I love everybody. Thank you so much. Let me see if I can get this up. I actually made a PowerPoint, so I'm trying to become of like some sort of like normal people, I guess. Trying to make things not as lower class. And oh man, Scott just disappeared. Like he ghosted. Dude, he ghosted. I mean, he was there and he just disappeared. And then he was behind the couch. But I'm just going to show it out. So the first thing we have to do is, again, thank you for our sponsors that have sponsored the show. Thank you so much to our Red Giant level sponsor, Prima Luce Lab. They are going to be giving away something very, very, very nice coming very, very soon. You have to be an AstroWorld subscriber to be eligible. So make sure you subscribe, make sure you like, and do all that. And also thank you to Woodland Hills. Woodland Hills Camera Telescopes. Again, that's our main sequence level sponsor. Thank you so much. And they are also in the future. We're going to be giving away stuff from Woodland Hills, and it's gonna be really cool. And all of this stuff is thanks to all of our sponsors. We also have upcoming guests coming. First things first. Before I go, this Friday, you got 2 days. Actually, you got 1 day until Thursday midnight to buy your last minute chances for the planetary camera raffle. And that's the Neptune. It's like an ASI 290. It comes with the infrared cut filter 1 1/4. $5 a raffle, maximum of 10. Get in now, and you get a $300 camera for $5. You can PayPal me at the bottom, PayPal at astroworldweb.com, but you only got today and tomorrow to do it. And if you already bought 10, that's okay. Make a donation to us, and it'll go towards the next raffle anyway. So guests coming up. We got a lot of guests coming up. We got like 5 guests coming up over the next 7 weeks. So February 25th, we have Ruman. He's going to be coming in and talking to us about the Indigo platform. That's going to be really, really awesome. Then we have Roland Archer, who's going to give us a rundown of the Voyager acquisition software. And for those of you who don't know I've been playing with it for, I guess, about a week and a half now. It's actually kind of cool. It's like a Sequence Generator Pro, and all-in-one stop shopping for acquisition, and it's really really intuitive and very easy to use. So Roland's going to come and give us a rundown on that on March 9th. On March 18th, I'm gonna call him the unknown soldier, Hendrik, because he kind of disappears every once in a while. He'll email me and then wait 3 weeks and then email me again. But he's going to be on March 18th to give us a rundown of a really cool product called the Star Aid, and another all-in-one thing for auto guiding. So it's going to be another very very cool thing. I know Pete has one, and he's been playing around with it. Maybe you could give us a little rundown on that later. And Tegan just bumped in, so I'm going to put him on the bottom. And then on April 6th, we have Bob Denny from Alpaca. And then April 13th, we got Charles Bracken coming in, who wrote, amongst other things, the Deep Sky Imaging Primer. And those are the ones we got coming up. I know Pete and I got some other things for May and June, and plus the Prima Luce giveaway you don't want to miss. It's going to be an awesome show. And I'm going to throw a bombshell on you guys. Not only on Friday, we're going to have the spin-off for the camera, but Simon Lewis is going to be joining us, and he is going to be giving. He's had the AM5 harmonic mount for quite some time now, and he's been able to kind of play with it a little bit. And he's going to give us a little rundown on the AM5 harmonic mount by ZWO. So that's going to be really cool. I'm really excited about that. It looks like some of the things that I complained about on a prior channel, a prior show from another harmonic mount, isn't that offensive in this one. So it's going to be cool. So that's going to be so. And if you watch that show and you know we're on the East Coast and you know it's nighttime, it's Saturday over in New Zealand during the day. So it's middle of the afternoon for Simon. So if you see daylight, you know why. So that's the upcoming list. And then, of course, don't forget all of our other social media platforms. Come hang out with us on YouTube, Discord, Twitch, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. And thank you. Again, I said in the beginning, thank you, everybody, for watching. Thank you, everybody, for subscribing. And we banged out that 1,000 subscriber, and we're already coming up close to 1,100. So thank you, everybody, for the support, and keep it going. So we'll take that down, and boom.
All right.
And that's the pretty much. And one last. There's more, Eric. I see your face. He's like, what else is he gonna say? There's more.
There's more.
And so it looks like maybe by the Friday night show, the website, and I know it's kind of up, but the website should be finished. So we're gonna have a little launch on that. You could go there and look at the blogs, look at the things. People are writing. I know, Eric, you're gonna work on something. Scott, you're working on something. Tegan, if you want to work on something as well and throw it up there, that's fine. Anybody who's involved wants to throw it up there, you're more than welcome to throw it up there. And that's pretty much it for current events, I guess you could say.
Okay. Unfortunately, just to give you guys a heads up, because we just learned this information. Family stuff, family event happening, so I won't be here on Friday. So unfortunately, I won't be able to join you guys on Friday. Some good stuff happening.
Okay, good stuff. Okay, that was my question.
It's good stuff happening for a member of my family. So we're going to be doing a little bit of a celebration and bon voyage for one of my sisters who just got a new opportunity in Florida. So she's going to be making the move to Jacksonville. So I'm very proud of her and excited for her. So we have another one leaving the Illinois nest.
All right.
Pretty cool.
First of all, let me apologize to the watchers for a second. The screen may flash for 1 second. Okay, so just I know it's coming. So this is not a glitch. Don't go away.
All right, it's not a glitch. It's not a glitch.
It's not a glitch. There we go.
There you go.
We're back. Yeah, I for whatever reason, my camera likes to freeze on Melon, and then it just goes into the green screen on YouTube for whatever reason. But All right. So I guess the first thing on the docket right now is this. I know Eric and Scott have received their Celestron SCT dew heaters.
Yes.
So why don't you guys? There's a third one. What is that? The
The
six?
third one.
That's
This
it.
is the 8.
That can't be the eight. Your head can't be that big.
I have one installed and
Oh, so then the three, because I don't even have an SCT. So why don't you guys tell us about the install, how it was, how it went, was it hard, was it easy, what to look out for?
Okay. First off, let me show you what's in the box because I have 2 of them, and I've already put one on my Edge 8, but I have not had the opportunity yet to put the next one on the Rasa. So I'll do a quick opening of the box here and show you what comes in the box. You have a few things, of course. Let's set this all over to the side here. Of course, you have the ring here, and it does come with a small piece of paper, white paper that goes over the corrector plate to help protect the corrector plate while you're doing your work. So there's that, and of course there is the heater itself, and there is, I'm not sure if you can see, there is the heating element right here, and you have power cords to supply power to the you have 2 separate ones, so you can use one or the other, and these can go to a dew heat controller that Celestron sells, or you can also connect this to your own dew heat controller that you already have, such as the Eagle or the ASI Air. All you'll really need is, all this comes in with as well, is the a power cord, 12 volt, 5 millimeter, 2.1, and also comes with the RCA end. So you have both ends, the RCA and the DC. And then so that way you can plug this right up to a say an ASI Air that has the DC RCA splitter. So you can plug one of these into there, and it goes right into the ASI Air, and then you can set your power requirement for this. And for me, and it also comes with a small clip for cable management. So a little clip here for cable management that you can use.
Okay, just for some clarification, we got a question from Mark already on it. So the 2 wires that go, and I think I read this as well. So the 2 wires that come out the bottom of the ring.
Yes.
One of them is for power to be applied to the ring.
Yep.
And the other is for control of the ring, correct?
Yeah, I believe so. One for control and one for power.
It's the thermistor cable.
Yeah, the thermistor, right? Yeah. So that you would plug in either into your RCA, either on your Eagle, like you said, or in the and then you would use the temperature sensor from the Echo that you have, or whatever you use as a temperature sensor.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
And yeah.
Go ahead,
Tegan.
Go ahead, Eric. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
So no, as far as getting it set up, it's really easy. I mean, Scott, how was yours for the 14-inch?
Well, it's definitely a bigger setup,
Mm-hmm.
But the process is the same. Now with an 8-inch, you might be able to get away with putting an 8-inch between if you forgive the pun, putting the 8-inch between your legs and manipulating it that way. But you can't do that with a 14. So you definitely have to mount it and put it and invert it, basically pointed at the zenith. And I actually did a whole YouTube. I'm putting together a YouTube video on this the whole process. So
okay.
I got it so on and so forth to see exactly how it goes together. And just like Eric said, it was very easy. It's not hard to do. The thing that you want to make sure that you do is put that paper down on that corrector plate. Because you drop that screwdriver once and you're going to be crying for the next month.
Yeah.
Yep.
You know, it's bad. And the screws are a little tiny. They're long. At least mine were. They're long, but
they're fairly long. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mine actually, I used the one for the original ring. You know, I used the same ones.
Okay. Yeah. You should be able to use the same one.
Yeah, it didn't.
You want to when you're setting the ring. The new ring down on the plate, you want to. It takes a little bit of finesse to line the first screw up. The second drops a little easier, and then you're good. Then all of them are all lined up. But you want to take extra careful care to line that first one up.
Now,
you know, and it takes a little bit of finesse to get it, but you know, it's once you're there, then you're golden.
Yeah,
and you also when the other thing that I pointed out in my video is that you know it's interesting when I pulled this is the ring that came off of the other one, right?
Yep.
And when I pulled this off, I just unbolted. I don't know if you can see the holes in here, but I just unbolted it all the way around. I didn't unbolt it in any kind of particular pattern. I just took it in a clockwise fashion, unbolted it. And one of the things that I noticed was as I started getting down to the last two screws, it started to lift.
Well, you might have just had a little bit too much pressure on the top. So I think where you're going with this is
that's the thing is that the way this thing is sitting on that corrector plate, you want to make doubly sure that you are bolting this with a crosshatch kind of a pattern, because you will, especially on something this big, you can warp that thing that fast.
Yeah. Just as a heads up, when you review the instructions, there is in the instructions the process of, I don't know if you can see this or not real closely, but there is the process of how you have to remount the your screws in that particular star pattern. And so that is there, as well as when you go through the setup, the initial setup, it does tell you that the best way to do it is setting it up if you have on your mount and setting it up horizontally and pointing to the pointing up to the zenith. So it's like I said, yeah. So exactly,
yeah, perfect, yeah.
Easy. Yeah, cross pattern right there,
just like that. Yep, just like a lug nut on a car.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Yep. And that primarily is to prevent warping of that ring.
Yep.
You know, so you know when initially when you get those screws in there, all I did was take them down until I just felt the tiniest bit of resistance, and then I stopped, and then I moved on to the next one. And once I got them all in there, then I went through that bolting pattern. You know, and it worked great. It tightened them up, and I inspected it with the light all the way around, and I got even contact on that element all the way around the corrector plate.
Now, let's talk a little bit about, and I know that it had already gone through. Frank asked a question regarding it, about where the wires go when you're placing that ring on there.
Okay. Well, in the manual, it also shows a demonstration and an overview, an overhead view of the face of the telescope and that corrector plate. So it tells you how you should align the ring in relation, to those screws and how everything is going to go, especially with the power cords and everything. Everything goes in a certain pattern in a certain way. So it's kind of in a standard setup. So if that answers your question.
No, I think it was told whether the wires go, should they be finished on the top of the scope or the bottom of the scope?
Well, it's all basically when you're putting it together, because there's a certain way, because you have to line up the screws in a certain pattern. And even in here, it'll tell you exactly where that, the cable should go, the power cables, everything should go.
Yeah,
it's going to be at the bottom. It's going to be at the bottom. Of the
thank
scope.
you. That's where I was going. So
it's going to be at the bottom of the scope.
Yeah. So you do want, you do it at the top, you may have an issue with wires coming across your telescope and You don't want that. You know, we already have enough problems with like hyperstars and dew heaters and other wires coming across the so just you want to make sure that those wires are on the bottom, so you can just loop them around the bottom end of the tube.
Yep.
The wires actually sit like this. Mine's attached, but let's say right here you have the power port and the thermistor cable. They sit at like
7 o'clock.
Yeah, exactly, 7 o'clock.
Right.
Well, I don't know which side you guys are viewing.
Yeah,
on.
it's 7 o'clock. Yeah.
Here's the dovetail at the bottom. It sits like right over here. You put your cable management clip there.
Got it.
Because if you can see here, when you're mounting it onto your corrector plate, there is a little notch right here. And if you notice on top of on the telescope, right above the corrector plate, there is a little there's a little spot where a piece of plastic that sticks out, where this basically slides right into that spot. Mm-hmm. So it can only go one way onto this.
Yeah, that's interesting, Eric, because mine does not have that notch.
No, only
you don't have that.
The 8 and the 9, the 8 and the 9 quarter.
I'm gonna double check. I'm gonna look right now, but I don't think that it has that notch.
Okay.
The 11 and the 14s do not.
Look.
Yeah, because there's this. You have this little notch because there's kind of like a plastic pin that kind of sticks out of the right next to on the corrector plate, right out around the corrector plate that this basically goes right into, and then you just slightly move it a little bit to line it up into the holes where the screws go, and then you're good to go.
Okay.
Yeah, I do not have that. That
you might be able to see it.
Oh, there you go.
Hang on. Oh,
yeah, right there. Yep. You just passed it.
Right there is where that sits.
Yep.
Nice.
And this clips onto like that.
Yeah.
And your cables go into there like that. And what's cool, the actual dew controller is Vixen or CGE style, so you can just lock it onto the bottom of your OTA like that, or to your tripod leg because it has Velcro strap too, which is
nice.
Really nice. The whole setup's pretty cool.
Yeah, it is. It is.
So is that the 2-channel control or the 4?
This is the 2.
That's the 2, yeah. Okay.
And what else I thought was cool is that it actually has a 12-volt output, so you can power your mount from the actual dew controller itself, or your camera or whatever other accessory you want to power it from.
That's
and
cool.
you can use it with CPWI, which I found, or your hand controller, just right through your hand controller, because you have to update the firmware in your hand controller if you're using a Celestron mount, and then it has the option for like the dew heater option. You can go through and like look at the humidity, adjust the draw, the current, just all of that. And
nice.
Cool.
I know we were talking in the green room right before, and I'm just curious to see, especially with like I said with Scott, who has the Godzilla SCT of the group with the 14-inch. I'm really curious to see how the ring performs as you get closer to the secondary. Go ahead.
I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
The beginning of February, I think on Monday, High Point just produced a video on this dew heater ring and the dew controller, and I couldn't sit, like I don't have dewy conditions outside, so I put the SCT.
God damn you!
I put the SCT in my freezer for an hour. I brought it out and I powered the dew controller on immediately.
Really? Okay.
And I mean, just without it sitting in the freezer, you turn it on, you put your finger to the corrector plate, and you can feel it warming up immediately because that heating element is touching.
The corrector. Yeah.
So it dissipated.
So, quick question.
Fairly quickly. Yeah.
Why would Celestron not have an environmental sensor?
They do.
Oh, they do have the environmental sensor with it? Okay.
It's all integrated into here.
Oh, okay. So in other words, there's an environmental sensor that's another input right into the controller.
Yeah, so you have two sensor ports. You have one here and one here. That's where the thermistor cable goes, and it'll provide you with dew point, humidity, temperature. Um, and if you use CPWI, it'll show you a graph of all this information over time. And the cool thing is, like, you don't have to, especially if you're like out in the field and you're running a battery and you want to save as much power as possible. The thermistor cable is going to help you. It's going to be more efficient, and it's not going to run the dew controller.
You don't need it.
Heater at full temp if you don't need to. You know, if you live in,
It's like the Echo.
exactly. Yep. So if you can set it manually, or you can just have it in automatic mode. But you can set the aggressiveness to like a 1 out of 10 if it's not, if you're in dry conditions. But if it's cold and humid, you want to set it to like 8 out of 10 or whatever works, and it prevents you from having to run your controller at 100% all the time, which is the case if you plug it directly in to the like if you plug an AC adapter directly into the dew heater ring without the thermistor cable or the use of the dew controller, it's going to run at 100% power.
Yeah, all the time.
On or
Right.
off. Yeah.
Yep.
So the beauty is like as Eric said, having the RCA cable, you can definitely use it with the Pegasus. You can use it with the Eagle. You can use it with any of the power management systems.
Yeah, as far as my understanding is, with that thermistor, you can plug it right into the Eagle, and then with the Arco, you'll be able to control that. Again, it is a separate accessory, but you can get the not the Arco. I'm sorry, the Echo. I'm sorry, my apologies. And you could run that. You could run a temp sensor. Run that right by your dew heater. Well, actually, you're not even gonna be able to use the temp sensor because that's actually made to run into a dew heater. So you could use it to calibrate with the Echo, but other than that, you'll just let the Echo just run it. And we'll see. You know what, Mark? Why don't you try it? Let us know how it works. Because
with the ASI Air, it's basically all you can do is just plug it in. PC. And you can set, the power level, on the ASI Air from up to 100% max power down to whatever. So, but myself, I just leave it at 100% because
why not?
Yeah, why not? Just do it. Why not?
Just do it.
So I gotta say, I saw her come in the chat. Jessica Wenke is on the chat right now. So Jessica has decided to come join us at AstroWorld. She is a budding astrophotographer herself, and we finally have a female on the group, and she's going to be joining us, every once in a while and hang out with us and give her insights as well. So Jessie, welcome to the AstroWorld family and the team, and we'll see you Friday night. So if you want to come on and say hi, you're more than welcome to. But welcome to the team.
Absolutely. Awesome.
Absolutely.
So all right, so we got what else?
Not a gentleman's club.
Right? No. But I gotta say, I put my photo. I took a 16-minute shot. It's just 16 minutes. It looks horrible, but it's 16-minute shot at M45, right? It was in the middle of clouds. I only had, I just wanted to see if I got my spacing down and all that kind of stuff. But I really wanted to try out the Spica flat because it's been in plastic since I got it. I haven't used it because I've had no clear skies. So I said, all right, let me do it. Let me tell you, not to have to run back and forth to change the brightness of a flat panel. If I only want 2-second flats, let's say.
Yep.
If I wanted 2-second flats, I would have to run in and outside the house to adjust the brightness in order to get that 2 seconds, right? Yes? No?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. I thought somebody knew something. But with the Spica flat, you don't have to do that. You can adjust the brightness inside your house and just get the ADU to the right size because it's a USB control.
Why are you trying to get 2-second flats?
Yeah. Well, I like to get 2 seconds is an arbitrary number. But if I want, let's say, if I want all my narrow band at 5 seconds, 7 seconds, 9, whatever I want, flats, whatever I want, then I only got to take one set of bias or one set. I don't have to take a separate set of everything for each individual filter.
Mm-hmm.
So if I have 2 second flats for my broadband, all I need is 2 second dark flats, and I don't have to worry about 2.1, 3.5, 7.9, and take it that way. So I do 2 set seconds, one for narrowband, one for broadband, and then with that, I take that flat dark for just those 2 sets, so I don't have to have a whole crap load of photos there.
Okay, that makes sense. I've never actually taken a flat dark frame, so like when I'm taking my flat frames, I just point my scope to the sky when it's clear and try and get to that 28,000. Yep. And sometimes if it's a luminance filter, it's 0.001 seconds. Other times, with the narrowband, it's 0.2.
Well, yeah. Well, but from what I've heard, at least with the 294, specifically.
Yeah.
For that camera, I mean, that is the yeah, exactly. that is the disaster of flats. I mean, that entire camera, and for whatever reason, I know
with the color, it's the mono.
Well, from what I heard from both, that if you don't get 2 seconds or more on your flats, you're gonna have some big issues.
Oh, I've shown you mine.
The damn difference.
What's that?
Ink blot.
I haven't seen a damn difference between 2 seconds, 6 seconds, or 0.001 second.
Oh, you guys see it. You guys see Eric's on his 294. It's like a Rorschach test.
Yeah, it is.
I mean,
on that mono, and it's so crazy because it's only on my hydrogen alpha when that happens. At least for right now. If I've done it on my, if I run, because I've normally done, like 5 second, flat. Sometimes it's either between 5 seconds, 10 seconds, whatever. But yeah, it looks like a freaking ink blot on HA. But if I go over to oxygen, I don't have that problem.
You haven't seen sulfur yet, have you?
No, I just got sulfur thanks to Dan.
Well, there's only one left. That's it.
3 nanometer.
This is the 3, but I only have the 03 left. That's it. Everything else sold. So the AHA sold to some gentleman on cloudy nights. The S2 went to Eric. And so if anybody wants an 03 and Leah, make me an offer. There you go. It's there. So somebody was asking about what the flat panel was. Now this is the Spica flat from All Pro Software.
Well, that's the new one. Mine is not. There's nothing like that.
You know what I wish they made? I wish they made like some sort of pillowed case for this that I could just slide it in and kind of keep it like nice. Because this is not cheap. I mean, as far as flat panels go, this is not cheap. Well, it's heavy. It's not light. It's not a light thing.
No.
And so I actually had to add on the 127. I actually had to add felt on the inside of the dew cap in order for it to withstand the weight of this. Because it wouldn't. It would just slide. It would just go. It would just slide. And in all fairness, the dew shield on the 127 wasn't. It was a little shady to begin with. So I just did it anyway. But now I need to be like Hercules just to move the dew shield. But I mean, this is averaging. I think what is it, Scott? Like for everything with the USB controlled, it's over $300 for this.
Yeah.
And
is that the what size? Which
this is
size
up to 12. Up to 12.
Yeah.
Up to the 12 inch. Yeah, I've got
the 550 millimeter.
Yeah, this is up to 12 inch, and it's good. I mean, you know what? The best thing about this is that it's USB controlled. And again, if you're somebody lazy like myself, go ahead.
That USB control is extra.
Yes.
Yeah.
Everybody needs to know that. You buy the panel, and if you want the USB controller, it is extra. It comes with the rheostat, to dim it down manually if you need to. But that USB controller, I think, what was it, Dan? 100,
140.
100 and a quarter extra, something like that?
I think it was 140.
Because here's the original Spica flat. This is what the original.
Oh, Spica that's the original. This is a newer one.
Yeah, you have the newer one. And I tell you, anything less than then maybe a 2 second or 3 seconds, I get banding.
Okay.
I do get banding. So,
all right.
Just let you know.
I never had this issue with the ASI 1600. At least, I mean, personally, the monochrome version. I guess I don't have banding now, but I don't think it was ever a recommendation to take a certain sub exposure length of when you're doing flat frames, was it?
Not with this. I think I only ever heard of something like that with the 294.
Okay,
that's the only camera that I've heard anything like that. I've always taken, even with all my QHY cameras, any other camera, my S-Big camera. Nobody said I was taking half second, 0.4, whatever. Never had a problem until the 294. so it's kind of like the 1600 with the
533. 533.
I do have a QHY 268 coming, so I went past the 533. So I'm looking forward to that. But this is the USB dimmer. It ASCOM drivers, and it works. One's for power, one power in, one power out to the panel. And then your USB to either your ASI. Well, I don't know if the ASIR can do it or not. I'm not sure. I don't think so. Yeah. But anything else will do it. Voyager software, SGP, Nina, whatever else will run the. And basically, you just sit there and you say 2 seconds, 2 seconds, 2 seconds, or 5 seconds, or whatever. And my panel goes up to number 1000 in brightness. Whatever scale that is, 0 to 1,000.
Oh, they're really bright.
Okay, so to take a 2 second,
really bright.
Yeah, well, just to give you a 2 second flat, put me at number 3 in brightness. So number 3. I started at 500. It was 65,000. Then I went to 250. It was 65,000. I went to 125. I do the law of halves, and I kept on doing law of halves. It took me like 20 minutes to figure out. Oh well, it's 3. So when you get the spike of flat and you're doing flats, start at 10. Don't do what I did. Start at 10 and you'll be okay. But it's a really, really, if you're a super lazy person like I am, there's a way to go.
Yeah, I mean, with the ASI Air, I honestly set it to auto for my flats, and I just let it go.
Yeah, absolutely, you can do that, and it runs the flat darks also at the same time, right?
No, it doesn't do the flat darks at the same time. No, unfortunately, no, it doesn't do that. But at least it gives me, But I usually, will take a 10-second flat dark, and I'll optimize it. And doesn't matter what the exposures are on the flats. Using that 10-second and optimize it, I'm just fine. Doesn't matter.
Well, just remember, Eric, you want to have your ADU value at about 50 to 70% of your full wall capacity.
Yeah, and usually it does do that when it does the auto. It's usually at that half or just a bit over half. So the SIR is kind of cool when it does the auto flat.
I mean, just a quick rule of thumb. That's always a good just a rule of thumb to use on taking flats.
Yeah, and also Nina does the same thing. You could run the flat wizard on that, and SGP you can run the flat wizard on that, and you could run it to what percentage you want it, and just let it go. They both have flat wizards, and flat wizards are great. I'm me personally, I don't know. You guys could all chime in, but I'm more at the the half range, somewhere around there, or even a little lower, to be honest with you. Because if you do it too bright, you're gonna wash out your spots. You do it too dark, and you won't see them. So
got a question here from Captain 404. Dr. Robin, Sharp Cap, Dr. Robin Glover's video on short subs versus long. He advocates for stacking lots of short subs over long ones. I see lots of YouTubers taking 300 second and longer subs. Does it matter? It really depends on the target. It really depends, honestly, on the target.
What you've got is you've got high surface brightness targets. You got low surface brightness targets. Case in point, look at M31, M42, right? High surface brightness. And then look at Able 85. I mean, that's a low surface brightness target. So you have to really pull the exposure up to 900, 1200 seconds.
Yep.
So it
And
really,
like if you're shooting broadband, you know, like if you're shooting a low surface brightness object and you have in Bortle 7 skies, you should probably, you know, you run your exposure for as long as you can before you swamp your
Swap the read noise.
Yeah, the read noise and your subframes are like white.
Well,
or orange or whatever color.
It also depends upon what the full wall capacity is of the camera.
Yes. So you have to take that into account as well.
Yeah, if you're just to your point, if you're running like a 183 at what 15,000, you know, and then you're running a 294 at 56, you know, there's going to be a big difference between how long you could expose just because of the photon gathering of that camera.
And are we shooting like as Tegan said, are we shooting broadband or narrowband? That also has to play in as well.
Absolutely.
I mean, typically for me, narrowband, I always shoot 600 to 900 second exposures at unity gain, regardless of my light pollution. I have my dark library at 600, 900 seconds. I don't find a huge difference between 600, 900 second single subs. I find that there's like a signal to noise kind of
drop off.
Diminishing returns around that time. You know, I'd be curious to see what like a 30-minute sub exposure looks like and compare it to 60 or a 90. But at that point, if you're taking, you know, extremely long sub exposures, you need to be integrating a lot of data because, you know, if you collect 10 hours or 5 hours, you're only going to have 10 subs. And I don't think that's enough.
I agree. Yeah. Your statistics are going to be way off on that.
Yeah.
And
well, just another quick rule of thumb is what I recommend is just shoot a narrow band 3 to 4 times that of your exposure for your luminance filter. Yeah. So if you're doing 300 seconds on luminance, then push that to 900 or 1200. That's just a quick rule of thumb.
I think we lost Tegan. I'm not sure. I think.
Sure.
Tegan, you there?
Yeah, he froze.
I think he froze out.
Oh yeah, he's going to come back in.
Okay.
Yeah. Let's see. We got a bunch of statements. So one other thing to consider is that if you're taking short subs and you room one, it's not a big loss of time.
That's true. That's very true.
That is true. And I always thought there was, you know, don't get me wrong. I don't take more than 600 seconds because I think the more statistical data that I could get in there with the more subs, I think that, you know, it's going to take away the noise more. It's going to take away all the stuff, and the definition is still going to be there. Now, if you sit there and have, you know, don't get me wrong, if you sit there and have a 1200 second sub, it's going to look awesome as long as you don't, you know, if you have 1200 seconds of, you know, clear sky with no plane in the way. Exactly. You know, from Long Island, that doesn't happen. I got 3 airports. I'm surrounded by airports. So,
once again, Dan, just to go with that, as I said, it depends really on that target again. Once again, if we're talking about a low surface brightness target like Able 85, I don't know if you're familiar with it. It's CBT or CTB1. It's that one that looks like the garlic clove.
Yes.
Yes. The HA03, but it's such a dim target that you got to keep that exposure open to be able to get that photon. And so, as I said, if I was using definitely HA, I'd be pushing that at least up to 900 seconds.
Yeah,
I've seen some images of it where they've gone up to 1200 to 1500. But once again, yes, you're right. It is at a dark Bortle 1 site. So
there you go.
That makes a big difference.
So I'm going to throw out a statement from Frank, and I want to know what you guys think about this because I know what I think about it, but I talk too much.
No.
It hurts to throw away a 10-minute exposures when you get a satellite. What do you guys think about that statement?
Software.
What does that mean? What does that explain? What that means?
Yeah, you can use software to eliminate the satellite trail.
Yeah.
What the algorithms do is they look at the image before and after, and they say, okay, what's the difference? And it says, oh, here's that satellite trail. Well, guess what? We got to get rid of it. So that's software. So
Yeah.
don't get rid of it. I mean, if your stars are round and nice and tight, and you got some image, don't get rid of it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just again, just remember that if it's just one satellite kind of trailing through, if you're dithering,
Yep.
it's going to get rid of that satellite upon the stacking and the
Get rid of-
registration.
Yep.
So
Yeah.
don't be throwing away good data like that. If it's now, don't get me wrong, I'll be the first one to if I got a 757 coming through and it's like 5 lights coming through, it's gone. I'm not even going to bother with that. But if
Right.
if it's a Starlink satellite that everybody gets annoyed at or something like that, just let it go. Let it stack. It will. If you're dithering, it will get rid of it. Don't worry about it. Don't throw out 10 minutes for Elon. Don't throw out 10 minutes for Elon Musk. Don't do that.
Yeah.
Dither.
How does that go? Dither or die?
Dither or die.
It's similar, like, dithering is similar for people that don't know what we're talking about. Dithering is equivalent, if a kissing cousin, if you will, to like long exposure landscape photography, where you keep your shutter open for a long period of time, and using filters to blur out water and this and that. But I can't tell you how many times I've been down to the beach or the waterfront, and I've been doing sunset shots, and I'm shooting, a 60-second exposure, a long exposure, something like that. And I'll have people that'll walk in front of my camera and they'll be like, "Oh, I'm so sorry." I'm like, my camera lens, I'm on a 60-second exposure. Trust me, you're going to disappear completely from the picture. And that's exactly what happened.
We're not that cool.
I'm telling you. Yeah, dithering is definitely the key. Let's talk about dithering for a second then, since we're on the subject. How often does everybody dither? How often do you dither?
I take 30-second subs and dither every frame.
Every frame.
No, I'm just kidding.
You are crazy. You are a very, very strange man.
No.
I honestly, I dither every 6 frames.
6?
Yeah, every 6 frames.
Every 3 for me, because I do 10
Right.
to 10-minute exposure, so I do dither every 3.
Yeah.
And there's a great calculation, because once again, dithering occurs on the guide camera, right?
Correct.
So what you do is you take your image scale of your primary imager, you take your image scale of your guide camera, so you divide the guide camera into the primary camera, and you'll come up with a number. And then what you do then is you look at the dither scale in PhD, and then you look at what will come up with, and then you just get those 2 numbers together, and then that'll add up to what it's supposed to be. So Dan, what I'll do is I'll send you that formula.
Yeah.
And maybe we can post it up. So I'll send that over there. I'll get that to you.
Yeah, that'd be a good thing to know, because you're the mathematician of the group.
He is.
Yeah. Because typically everybody says, well, how many pixels should I dither? It's really kind of arbitrarily. I mean, you don't want to dither too much, but you don't want to dither too little. So I typically dither maybe between 15 pixels to 30 pixels. And then depending upon the image scale that I'm going to use, then it's just an easy calculation on the formula. So you know what, Dan, let me go off screen and I'll send that over to you right now.
Yeah, send it to me. I'll throw it in the chat.
Okay.
There you go.
Yeah, Rob, I'll put that in the Discord channel as well, Rob. When Pete gives it to me, I'll throw it in there. I got to tell you, the Discord channel's blowing up. I mean, we're at almost 40 people on Discord.
Nice.
Wow.
I mean, for something I didn't think was going to do anything, I thought we were going to have 3 people on there, and probably the 3 people were going to be on, at least probably on the screen right now. But yeah, I'll throw it on there. Suburban said they could get away with every 5 frames. Sometimes the mount doesn't recover after a dither. Now I could change that, so maybe it's less of an issue. So. Did we lose Tegan? Oh no, there he goes. He blinked.
Okay. Yes, he's moving.
He just did like a freeze. And
let's see.
Hey Dan.
Yeah.
I just sent it to your email address. It's the link, and then you'll be able to pull it up. So I just sent it to your email address. And then once we pull it up, I can go through it. Got it.
Peter, what's the downside of dithering too many pixels?
Two pixels?
Well, too many.
Too many. Like an extreme dither.
Too many.
Yeah. Once again, what happens is that, remember, the dithering takes a while, right? Because once you load that image up, then you got that wait time as it's starting to go through the dither. So chances are that you'll end up getting a long time of a delay in your second exposure. So that's the key, is if you push it too far, then you're just going to be wasting another 30 seconds. Because some people have probably seen when they dither too much, they probably got a 30-second delay before that next frame gets taken. So typically you just want to kind of keep it between, like, say, about 15 to 30 pixels.
Okay.
And,
I didn't
and
know
once-
if there was okay, other than saving time.
Yeah.
Okay.
I just sent that in the chat, and I sent it on Discord for everybody, so everybody should be having that.
yeah, it's a real simple calculation to understand.
Yeah, I'll have to take a look at that since I don't use PhD. So with the ASI Air, really can't figure a lot of that stuff out. So I'll have to take a look at that.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Because I don't know how much you're going to be able to kind of adjust
That. Yeah, because with the ASI Air, you can either dither 1, 2, 5, 10, or 30 pixels. And
no, well, you adjust a little then.
Then you set an interval of how many frames you want.
Okay. Yeah.
Well, you got the basics there, so I mean, that's you got enough to kind of fool around with it. You got enough just to be dangerous. So,
yeah.
I got a question for you guys. What do you got? I always look for kind of weird things, I guess, when it comes to astronomy, to see, if there's anything out there as far as new products are concerned. And Eric, I know that you have the I'm gonna butcher the name of this company because AstroDimium, the one that makes the ASI Air kind of for the 135, I think.
135, yep.
Yeah. So they came out with something else that I thought it might be kind of intriguing for those of you like myself that can't really find a tilt wheel for your camera. So, a tilt changer. But I'm going to show it to you real quick. Tell me what you think of this. And here we go.
Wait a minute. Dip that into my soap and I blow bubbles?
Right.
And they make them in different sizes. This is the M42, but there's M42, M48, M54, and M63. So basically what you do is you kind of put it around the threads, and you can slide this back and forth to change the tilt. And they give you 3 of them. And I think it's from 0.1 to 0.3 millimeter change in tilt. I found it intriguing. It's a 3D printed thing. For $23, I might try it.
Yeah, I'd be more
impressed with M68, not M63, M68. Yeah, I hear you. But for $23, I might give it a shot.
Yeah.
So in other words, is this to replace a CAA, a camera angle adjuster?
Yeah, so there you go, like this. Here you go.
Okay.
Okay, so the camera's on the other side of the filter wheel towards the scope side. You got the ring, and you could move that ring on either side. So it's like 1/10 of a millimeter on one side. You can kind of rotate it so you could change the tilt.
So so when you have something like this, so I'll spend the next, I don't know how many minutes or whatever, hopping into CCD Inspector or AstroTap, to start looking at my tilt, and then it's like I have to go back and forth to adjust. It'll drive me nuts.
Well, no, I think it's more like one of the things. It's like a set it and forget it type thing.
Well, probably.
But Dan, you brought up a good point, because we talked about this a couple of shows ago.
We have.
When we do the CCD inspector, at what percentage do you see tilt? You don't see tilt at 20%. At about 25% is when you see tilt. When you're at 30%, oh yeah, you're going to see tilt. You're going to see your stars being elongated. So as I said, a lot of people just split hairs saying, well, I want 0 tilt.
That's
Don't
what
worry
I'm
about
saying.
it.
Yeah, well, that's not going to happen. Yeah. That's kind of that's like we talk about it all the time about dealing with numbers, especially with PhD.
Mhm.
Well, exactly. Who cares what the numbers are?
Just
Look
take
at
what you have. If your stars are round,
exactly.
Exactly.
use it.
So,
Just shut up and image.
but I
Your data.
I just
I
thought
mean-
it was something kind of weird, something different, and I said, what the hell is this? And I said, let me look
Yeah.
at this for a second.
I
And
mean, you can get anal geekish into this freaking hobby, man. And I'm thinking maybe this is kind of anal geekish.
Well,
I mean, if you
and again, something to me, something like this could be your worst enemy.
Yes.
This could be your worst enemy because you will do exactly what Eric said. And I would do the same thing. Go in,
Yeah.
take a picture, check the number, go back outside, move the thing, take another picture, check the number, do it until and it's going to take you 45, 50 minutes to figure this thing out. It's a $23 piece of 3D printed plastic. And you may be doing a little bit. And to Pete's point, if your tilt's under 20, I would say, in the teens, you're going to be fine. You're going to be fine.
Here. I'm gonna bring this up because I want to get you guys' opinion on this. All right, so
More funny stuff, or is it serious stuff?
no, it's here. Let me just share my screen here. All right, so here.
Okay.
When you look at something like this is AstroTap. With me, I was working on the FLT 91, right? I'm working on the FLT 91, and I've got the flat, the new the 1X flattener and stuff like that. So I've got it all set, you adjusted and everything. And then I took this shot of the rosette, and now I'm just looking at, okay, here's a FITS file, and I'm looking at this, and I'm like, okay, where do I really? Am I going to really be splitting hairs over something like this?
let me ask you, what your stars look like?
This is the image that you sent the other night.
Yeah, this is only a few.
This is the image, the rosette image you sent the other night, right?
Yeah, this is exactly.
Okay.
So Eric, what are the like in Prism? In Prism, what you can do,
Eric, I'm telling you, I
is
could
the
not
analysis-
see any oblong stars.
yeah, in Prism, there's an analysis that you can drop down, and it will tell you, it'll pull up 4 corners of your quadrant, and it will actually tell you, it'll show you, it'll magnify those 4 quadrants to see what your stars look like. Look at the 4 quadrants and see what your stars look like.
Right.
If your stars are round and tight, forget about that. You're okay.
Because here, if I just bring up that
I can't find the photo in our.
here, because here's the actual photo. This was only 18 or 19 lights because I'm only just doing tests here, right?
So let's look at the photos.
And I'm looking around here.
Zoom farther if you can.
Let me see if I can zoom further.
1-to-1 ratio, Eric.
I mean, I'm barely at the lower right corner. I'm seeing. I'll see a little bit of oblong.
Yeah, I see a little bit.
Just a little bit down at the bottom right hand corner. But if I'm sliding over here, that looks pretty good.
Yep.
If I go to the other corner, I'm slow, and I'm
You're
going.
at F2. I'd keep this.
No. This was with the FLT 91, so I was at
okay.
5.9.
So here's my question, Eric.
Yeah.
Are you going to blow up the corners, or are you going to blow up the rosette? Because if you're going to blow it up, we're pixel peeping. So let's go back and take a look at it. Let's take a look at the image, because once again, you can crop out those corners because you just want to have the nebula complex. So who cares?
And so, like I said, this was with no flats because you can see dust.
Yep.
This was just a test.
When one starts to care though, is like if you do.
Yeah, and this is with the 5. This is with the 533, so you can see that it's square.
Yeah,
it's a square center. So for something like this, if I was spending, if I really wanted to invest more time in this, if I was doing, because these were like maybe I think 3-minute. These were 3-minute lights. If I really wanted to concentrate and really put something into this, then I'd spend more time in it and I'd make do the flats. But honestly, for something like this, I could care less.
Yeah,
I think it looks fine. So
once again, as I said, we're our own worst critics because we look at what we do, and then we can truly get anal about, well, hold on, I'll get that tool, and like Dan says, I'll get out there and I'll start playing around with it, and I'll come back, and by the time you've done that, you've wasted 2 hours.
That's my whole point.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
I can
I'm
thoroughly
sorry. Something like that, like these tilt
turns
adjusters,
into
like he's saying, that he brought up. It's just another thing. I mean, we're going down the rabbit hole again, buying more stuff. I'm going down a rabbit hole.
Yep.
Again.
And Eric, I can thoroughly say that my stars using my Quattro probably look 4 to 5 times worse than whatever that is that you just presented on screen. I'm trying to look for a good example, but I crop about 10% of the edges, and I'm like, you know what? It's fine. It's fine.
As I said, here's another rule of thumb. If you got tilt at about 20%, 25 to 30, you're going to start to see it. But between 20 and 25, that's going to be kind of marginal. Anything less than 20%, you're never going to see it.
No.
So don't worry about it.
And that's my whole point, man.
Yeah, and quite frankly, the only people that are even going to notice stuff like that are absolute out of their mind pixel keeping geek astrophotographers. They're the only ones that are ever going to see it.
It'll be the retired guys. The retired.
Everybody else is going to look at that and they're going to be like, "Holy cow! How did you do that?"
Right. I pixel peep every Astrobin image of the day photo. So.
Yeah, I got a good thing for you too, and I thought this was kind of cool. This is somebody who follows me on Twitter, and I thought this was kind of cool. What this gentleman did, he made. I'll show it to you. It's pretty interesting. Let me get it back up here, and here you go. So yeah, so this is how this gentleman takes darks. And what he did was, and you can see them here, he made these little discs here. And you can see the sensor is inside the disc, that it seals it completely from any other light that could come in. Now, for those of you that know the ZWO cameras a little bit, some of them have that they have that metal layer in the front. So it goes up high. It doesn't impede the fans. But they just sit there and they just let everything go, and they make darks, and he's got a temperature sensor up here. He does a whole bunch of things with the cameras, but he's able to get negative 20 Celsius in his house, running this way and running the darks like this.
Nice.
So I have Tyler right now doing an 8-hour project I got the file from this gentleman, to make these discs. And to see how it works.
What are they made out of?
It's 3D. Dan, it's 3D printed.
Dan, how's this? You got a mono camera, right? You got a mono camera?
I have both. But yeah, I do most of my work in mono. Yeah.
And how many port on your filter wheel?
How many what?
How many ports do you have on your filter wheel?
I'm not doing a dark filter. I'm not doing it. I have 8, but I'm not using it for a dark filter. I'm not doing it.
Okay.
I you know what? It may be me. I just don't trust them. I know
there's that gap between the filter wheel and the camera.
Yeah, it is.
But you see, This is the interesting thing is what you do is you can go get bar stock that's exactly perfectly round, right? Thickness wise. You go into the machine shop and you say, hey, look, I want to cut that in a thickness of 3 millimeters. And then you just go to, say, an anodized shop. You just do type 2 sulfuric acid anodized, type 2 black, and there's your dark filter. You've already got the retaining rings in there, and I've got 3 of them in my filter wheels, and they work perfect.
So Pete, I mean, I've said it about myself like 5 times. You know who you're talking to, right?
I know. You just like
I am not running to a machine shop or an anodizer or anything like that for a piece of metal that's the size of a 2-inch piece of metal. It's not going to happen. And you know what? And I've actually purchased some like 2-inch, like the ones that are the aftermarket kind of dark filters.
They're mounted, though, right?
They're mounted. They're mounted.
Yeah, the astronomic,
Even I had a friend that had a 36 millimeter unmounted one that I used in my S-Big, and I kept on getting leaks. So I'm like, I'm not going to do it because you know what? I'd rather just turn off all the lights in my room, open the windows so I get some cross ventilation, so the camera can kind of cool right, and just let it go overnight and just be done and fall asleep. And that's.
There's this little thing called a rubber cap that comes with your camera.
There is, but you know what? Then you're talking again about me. I don't want to take the camera off the image tray because now I got to take new flats.
Oh, see, no. You take your flats first, or you just take your dark library as soon as you buy your camera, if you know what your settings are going to be.
Yeah. I update my dark library probably every 4 to 6 months.
Tegan, Dan likes all this.
If you're using this thing, you're
He likes
obviously
all this high tech little stuff.
If
This
you're
3D printer stuff. Look at him.
Me? Me? What? What are you talking
if
about?
you're using this thing.
Eric, how long do
You're
you think that those
obviously
things are
taking
going
it
to be
off.
in the closet of death? Those will end up in the closet of death in about 2 years.
Yes. Guaranteed.
There it is.
Oh, my eyes.
I like trying different things. I really do, and you know what? It's just a matter of
Those are
like,
cool. Those 3D printed. I mean,
Yeah.
I would use that because I would use that instead of like the rubber cap that comes with it. That attaches to
Well,
the
if you want some, talk to Tyler. He's printing them out right now. So I mean, I actually got the file for the 3D printer from this gentleman, and I sent it over to Tyler, who has a 3D printer. So
Hey, Dan, if you like them, maybe you can make them for all of us then.
no, I don't have a 3D printer. Thanks, I'm too lazy. Now all my cameras messed up again.
Hey, what about this new telescope that's made by, is it Stellina? Stellina.
Stellina, yeah, the $4,000 80 millimeter camera and a telescope.
Well, there's that one, and there's
There's a new one. Yeah, there's a new one as well. Yeah,
It's kind of a boxish kind of looking thing, isn't it? I mean,
Yeah.
I've seen what it looks like, but what is that thing? I mean, I've never been able to take the time to look at the specs on it.
It's
Go ahead, Tegan.
It's a 224 sensor with an 80 millimeter doublet refractor, and yeah, it's an IMX 224 sensor, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
And it's basically all automated. Inside it has a camera rotator, and it adjusts for not field curvature. Does anybody know what that word is? On an alt azimuth mount where it
Rotation.
Field rotation.
Field rotation.
Yeah.
It adjusts for field rotation, and you take exposure. It just kind of, you just set it up and plate solve, and
Yep.
you take photos.
It's an all-in-one. It's from what I've gathered. I've never seen one.
Right.
I've sold 2 of them. I haven't sold the new one yet. I sold 2 of the 80s, and basically it's an all-in. It's really good for EAA. It's really good for the lazy people like myself or for the astronomer that has everything. That literally will plate solve and take photographs, and you could go out of that to wherever you want, laptop, whatever, and you just set it up and go, and that's it.
Is it go-to? Go-to? I mean, it's
It's fully automated.
Totally automated.
so
It's a smart
It's
telescope.
for the lazy astronomers. What it's for then?
It's for Jason.
It's for lazy astronomers that have a lot of money to burn because they're not cheap.
They're honestly. So I haven't tried the Stellina but I've used the
Uni.
the Unistellar
Yeah.
EV scope.
Yep.
And I didn't know what to expect. I brought it outside, and it took me about, you have to take a dark frame. It took about 45 seconds to set up the tripod. You just fits on, you tighten it up. You take a dark frame. I connected it to my phone. I hit, plate solve, and it was like, okay. And then I hit M82, and it slewed to M82, and then pictures of M82 started popping up on my phone 30 seconds later. Super, like Dan said, super awesome for EAA, especially and it's not dedicated. It's not for the dedicated astrophotographer, like somebody who likes to troubleshoot, talk about the nitty gritty like we always do on the show. Or it's like that perfect medium ground between like a visual. You get more out of it visually because you get the colors and the contrast and the details. But the photos, the photos are subpar. They're not, fantastic, but you can see the color and the galaxy and the filament and the spiral arms and stuff.
The built-in camera then is OSC then, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
It's
Yeah.
a fellow camera.
It is OSC. Okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
Is the Stellina, I thought the older one, was it using a Nikon?
A Nikon? No, there's no DSLR on
It
there.
wasn't a DSLR, or
No.
you? Okay, I thought it was partnered with Nikon or something.
Well,
Not
Tom
that-
Bacon right there said he had the old Stellina. Maybe he can tell us what it was.
I don't know.
But he also
But,
said it was amazing and boring, but I don't think there was anyone with I don't remember any one of them having a DSLR on them. I remember it all.
Sort of, okay, or maybe it was or maybe I'm just thinking not necessarily DSLR, but like say Nikon was in partnership to help create the camera itself. I don't know. I thought I heard that.
It's possible, but I didn't really go that crazy into.
You might be right, Eric.
It's not a
That sounds
DSLR.
vaguely
It's just
familiar.
Nikon was working with Stellina to create the camera for the scope and all that stuff.
That sounds vaguely familiar.
Yeah, I thought I heard that somewhere.
I don't. Yeah, but it's great for like star parties.
So Nikon teamed up with the Unistellar, not the Stellina.
Unistellar.
Okay.
Yeah,
I knew it was one of them.
Yeah, you're good call. Good call.
So there's Unistellar and then there's Stellina, right? So there's
Yes.
two separate companies.
Yep.
Okay. So what is Unistar? Is Unis? What is it again?
Unistellar.
Unistellar.
it actually
Unistellar?
has an eyepiece. There's two versions, one with and one without an eyepiece, and it's a image projection system. And you look through the eyepiece, and it projects the same image that you get on your phone, just to the screen within the eyepiece. So it gives you a more of a sense that you're looking through a telescope, but you're seeing the same photo that's on your phone. It's funny, cool. It's cool. Like it's great for star parties and
It's for star parties and maybe outreach and stuff like that with kids,
absolutely,
stuff like that.
I can remember when I was at OPT, we had the guys come in from Unistellar. They came in from France and they were here in America. This back in 2018. And we went out to Lake Henshaw. And I was kind of curious to see how this thing worked because I thought, hey, on paper, it looks pretty good. But man, they couldn't get that damn thing to work out there. I mean, they must have played with that thing for 2.5 hours at the Bortle Two Skies, and they just couldn't get it to work.
There you go. So there's the Unistellar and the Stellina.
Wow,
Yeah,
$4,000. Holy camole.
Yeah, and people argue. You're like, for $4,000, you can get an EQ6R 110 millimeter.
Yeah, but this is so much more easier to use.
That's not what we're going for.
Yeah, that's not what these are intended for. These aren't intended for the real, like us, these really dedicated astrophotographers. These are dedicated for people who have money. They're stuck in the house because of COVID. Or anything like that.
Time, they're busy.
They wanted to, they wanted to have something so their kids could have a new toy because these are rich people. Let's be real, because I don't think other people would actually go out there and buy this. But if you're rich and your kids are bored and you're stuck at home, there you go.
Yeah, I agree. And again, like to everybody's point in the chat, that it's these scopes are really, really good for public outreach if and or when we end up actually doing it again. Public outreach, finding but to Tegan's point, is the camera great? No, it's not. It's a 224. So it's not going to be this sweeping, awesome, resolved object. It's not going to be like that. But you're going to get a lot better. You're going to get more gratification and quick gratification rather than looking through an eyepiece, because you're not going to get colors in an eyepiece, and it's not going to happen. You're going to be able to get it. You're going to be able to resolve certain things. You'll be able to see things a little bit better, and you'll be able to get that instant gratification that a lot of people desire when
you definitely see the color in the photos.
Yeah.
I will say you see the color and you see the detailed spiral arm.
Now, if Stellina or Unistellar, they decided to put some more money in for some more rich people to say, hey, we're going to make even more money. We're going to put a 2600 sensor.
This is absolutely like you could.
Then it'd be like, oh my god, yeah. And there's no cable management. Yeah. You're Frank. Yeah, Frank, you're right. There's no cable management, anything like that. It's just, and it is a toy. It is an
expensive toy.
This is something that we won't bother ourselves with it.
No. Unless if I hit the lotto and I move somewhere and I just have a bunch of kids all of a sudden, I won't be getting
exactly
that anytime soon.
I think I have some photos that I took with it. I'm trying to look to see.
If you have it, throw me on, throw it on my email or in the Discord. I'll throw them up.
Real quick, I want to answer a question here for Josh. Josh was asking me a question about the ASI Air. You said, Eric, how do you change the power level on the ASI Air? I can't find that control. Here is where you go. So I'll share my screen here. Let me know if you guys can see it or not. Let me know when it's ready.
Go.
Okay, cool. Here's the ASI Air. If you go right here to the Wi-Fi, here, there's the power output settings. And right here, when you select dew heater, it goes away. So if you take telescope, it goes. But if you select dew heater, this is where you can up or lower
The power consumption.
your power consumption.
Yeah.
So there you go. So I hope that answers your question there, Josh. Just make sure you have it set to dew heater, and then you can set your power and then turn it on, and you're good.
Looks like Tom Daigon had a Stellina shot. He said he sent it to me. I'll wait for there you go, Stellina shot.
Now I know that I wasn't able to really grab the JPEG or whatever file it was off of my phone and post process it like even more, because that's something that I was like, okay, if that would be a cool added feature, if you grab the data and you can send it to yourself and post process it. I didn't have that luck with Unistellar.
And here is a dumbbell nebula shot. This is from Stellina. And let me get this back here. And
It's not that bad.
Yeah.
so,
Not at all.
so again, it looks great for what it is. Again, it's like we've said it like 4 or 5 times. It's a small camera. You got the center star, which is nice. But again, are you going to get an A-pod with a Stellina or a Unistellar? No, you're not.
No.
But it's not terrible. And you know what? This is a great thing to kind of show people, especially you're going to get let me tell you something. If you have this at a star party or at a public outreach thing, you're going to get some real oohs and ahs. You put it up on a TV or something, and it's going to look good.
Yeah.
But for any serious astrophotographer, this is not what I don't think anyone. 3 of us are in selling telescopes, and not one of us, I think, would even say, "Hey, you need to have this to start astrophotography."
Yeah, no.
If anything, we would probably say you need to stay away from this until you get everything else. So
Yeah. This is the new fancy version of the Revolution.
yeah, yep, absolutely. And let me hide that. There we go. Nice.
And you could get similar result. You could get better results with an EAA setup, like a
Like a Rasa.
a Rasa. But even I was thinking like a
like a Red Cat. I mean,
Yeah.
well, something on an all azimuth mount, like a Nexstar Evolution with
Yeah.
a 485, something like better than a 224 with a 485. Maybe consider a wedge, to get a couple 10-second exposures. It's significantly less, I think, than the Stellina or the and you have set up cables and you can bring your laptop out and whatnot. So you're picking hairs here.
It all depends on how lazy you really are and how much stuff you want to drag out with you and how much money you got.
But then at that point, you're like, well, maybe I should just get an equatorial mount and just shoot.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So next thing you know, you got a $10,000 rig or more, and
Well, you figure at 4K, right? You're almost halfway there to 8K. I mean, you can use that money. So, I guess it's half of one and 6 of the other, right? Half a dozen one and 6 of the other.
Exactly. It really depends on what you want to do and how lazy you are.
And there's so many options like in astrophotography that you can take. It's cool, honestly. Like if you just want to be as lazy as you can and slap a DSLR to it, Nexstar 8SE or a phone adapters, and you can do that.
And I think once again we've talked about this many times. I think it's a challenge that is what keeps us in this hobby because we love challenges. If it was easy, everybody'd be doing it. So this really is an easy way of getting into
this is what sets us apart. This is what makes us interesting.
Yeah.
Because we take these challenges, and it makes us less boring.
Yeah.
Because we take the challenge out of, we take these challenges, and if you have something like a Selena or a Unistar, all you're saying is that, hey, I got money and I'm bored. All right, I just say it as it is.
Hey,
I know.
Maybe
Call it how
I'll
you
get-
see it.
I
I'll
call it
reach
as I
out to
see it.
Selena and see if we can get them on the show one day. That might be
Yeah.
kinda interesting. Seriously, I'll just see if they'll be interested.
That would be great. I've got a lot of questions.
I know. I'll do that. I'll reach out to
Eric,
them. I'll
you're
see-
banned from that show.
I'm gonna be so banned.
All right. Well, Tom Digon sent us some more.
That kid in
pictures.
on Sunday class, he's like, "Why is this? Why is that? Why
Dan's
is
gonna be muting me like crazy.
out?"
Out. He like dropping me. Like, well, there goes Eric. He was having some technical difficulty. We'll see him next time. Oh
So
my
we
gosh.
That's
We got a
pretty.
GMS 1000.
Yes, sir.
No
That-
through the mount cabling, right?
Nope.
Who's that?
That's Tom Digon's setup.
Oh, very nice.
Nice.
He's
You've
got
got insulation?
optical train.
Yeah.
What is that? Is that like reflective insulation or something?
Yep.
Yep. This. Yep.
Okay.
Yep, that's what he's done. He's got it all coated.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that the eagle sticking out the
Yep.
bottom
Right
of the-
here. That's your eagle right there.
Yeah.
And there was another one. And
Damn, how come they
Yeah.
didn't have through the mount cabling on these 10 microns? That's a shame. I mean, like AP has it, Software Bisc has it, but you figure if you're getting into these high precision mounts, like with this 10 micron, I thought for sure they would have had through the mount cabling.
yeah.
I'm assuming that's a 2600 on the back.
I would guess yes. I don't know, but he'll answer.
That's typically what I see with Edge, but that's pretty.
We had a question regarding PhD come across. Let's see. Can someone tell me if PhD2 can be connected to the mount via laptop USB to ST4? I'm making a do-it-yourself webcam and finder scope setup, but the webcam doesn't have an ST4 socket.
I do know that with PhD2, if you actually go to ASCOM, in the top left corner, you'll see the orange box, and you can download the ASCOM drivers specific for the mount in question. That means then that you can get rid of the ST4 cable, but you'll have to run the mount with that ASCOM driver.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then you just use USB.
Yep. And then you'll be fine. You won't have to worry about it. As long as you're doing pulse guiding, you're good.
Yep, you're good. Yep. Hey, Josh, this was ASI Air. I was running it over BlueStacks, which is an Android emulator. It's a free Android emulator you can download. And then you just install the ASI Air app from the Google Play Store. And then you can run your ASI Air from your PC.
Yeah, Tom's psyched to be using his new rig with Nina. So with the 10 micron. But
do you guys have a preference? I don't know how many of you guys have experience between. And this is kind of off subject, but between Nina and Sequence Generator Pro, if you guys have you guys used both?
I have.
Nina, it's free.
I had issues with Nina, but I only took an hour dive into Nina setting.
Okay. So I'll tell you my experience with that. I was
SGP heavy. I love SGP.
Me too. And I used SGP from when it came out, and I met Jared and the other guy, the two software engineer that wrote it. They aren't even astrophotographers. They're like two software engineers that saw a niche and started making a program for it. They don't even do astrophotography. But I met them at NEAF, and I was like, oh, this is what we need. It's like it's Maxim, but it's easier to use. So and that's what SGP was for me, and I used it consistently, and I loved it, and I thought it was great. And then I started AstroWorld, so I said, listen, everybody's asking me about Nina. I gotta start using it. I gotta figure out what the hell this is all about. So I tried it. I tried it for an hour and I got frustrated with it. I said, the hell with it. I'm going back to SGP. And then I tried it again. It took me about 5 times, and a threatening message from Sean Nielsen saying that, saying, Dan, trust me with this. You're going to love Nina. It's just a learning curve you're going through. When you get past it, you're going to be fine.
Okay, there's a learning curve for every software. I get that. I'm not scared of the learning curve. No
I know you're not.
You know.
But now I am a Nina convert.
But what I don't like about SGP is when they went the way of Microsoft and they went the way of Adobe. It's a monthly subscription. I go, no, that's
subscription.
Yep. I hear you. And I paid for the first year and then I got rid of it. As a matter of fact, I'm still in that first year, I think, right now, because but whatever the case may be, I got to tell you, once I figured out everything with Nina and what it can do and how it does it, the advanced sequencer in Nina, just in itself, blows SGP away with that. Just for the way that you're able to customize things that you couldn't do with SGP, as far as I'm concerned. Like, let's say incremental cooling for one point. When you have issues with your camera, you can say, okay, you know what? I want this to start cooling at 10 minutes before nautical twilight. And you can put that in there, and you can put the next thing, and you can build your own sequence and save it that way. And on top of that, it's not, you could save profiles, but everything's right in front of you. There's no, let me change this, let me change that. Now I got to save the sequence. Now I got to apply profile the sequence. I got to do all this kind of stuff to kind of make and every once in a while you forget to apply profile the sequence, and then all of a sudden you're screwed.
Okay. That's one. That was like the hardest hurdle for me in Sequence Generator Pro, or the most frustrating hurdle for me, was you have that you have one. I can't remember the windows. You have one window and it controls like the immediate settings, but then there was like 3 different instances. I had to make sure that I change the pixel size in this box and this box. And this box and this window and this window. And if I didn't, I'm like, okay, there's one of these that I missed because it's not plate solving. So is my focal length not entered correctly in one of these boxes? Is it my,
right?
And that's the main hurdle that Sequence Generator Pro has brought me. But I've gotten past that. And
but again, the same thing with Sequence Generator Pro. I mean, it took me. I remember my first thing, and I downloaded a piece of documentation from what?
Scott's sleeping.
Oh, are you serious?
Rockabye baby.
Oh my.
Hey, he's 86.
Scott!
Fire! Oh man, he's had a rough day.
Yeah, I tell you what, man, tired him out. Hey, Scott, that heater cable really took it out of you, huh?
But as far as Sequence Generator Pro is concerned, I use it for a long time with a lot of success. I love the program. I do. I just like the fact that, number one, that Nina, because for the longest time I couldn't use Nina because I had an S-Big camera, and Nina wouldn't. There's no ASCOM driver. There was no ASCOM drivers for the S-Big camera. You had to use their own driver checker in their driver package. And so I was not stuck with, I enjoyed using it, but I had to use SGP.
Do you use Nina or SGP?
Who, me?
Scott.
No, Scott. I'm trying to get him back into the conversation here so he can wake up. No, so seriously, Scott, do you use
SGP.
Do you use? Use SGP?
Yeah.
Is your sofa moving? Did you just raise up your sofa, your chair? Is it like?
Yeah, it's an electric seat.
Okay, I was just wondering. It was like
Eric. Oh my goodness!
Sorry, guys, my bad.
If I put the feet on this thing, it's like taking a sleeping pill.
Yeah.
And not for nothing. I gotta echo some things that are going on in the chat. The support for Nina, if you ever have a problem with Nina, you literally go right on their Discord server, and all of the engineers and programmers are members of that server.
Yeah, not SGP.
Literally, I had an issue with plate solving because I had a problem, and I threw it up there. I threw up my logs. They said, "Oh, here, switch your." They sent me a new file for a new sequence. Threw it in there, and it worked fine. And within a half an hour.
You know, Dan, for free software, you can't beat Nina. Honest to God, for free software, that is the best. And as I said, being in the position that we're in, I mean, we have to use different softwares. I mean, I started out with Maxim. I've done SkyX. I've used Prism. I've used Voyager, and I've used Nina. And as I said, there really is no one good program, but for a free software program, you can't beat Nina. That's all I got to say. For free, and these guys do the daily builds. I mean, it's like every 2 days there's a new daily build. How do you beat that? These guys are really on top of looking, make sure that they can debug if there's any bugs, coming up with new algorithms, coming up with the plugins. I mean, look at these plugins. How do you beat these kind of plugins? And it's free. I mean, even if these guys charged $50, I'd say, yeah, it's worth the $50 to get Nina. No question about it.
Yep.
The old guard, yeah, I mean, Maxim is still out there. Maxim's got some great features. Once again, if you're looking for dome control, yeah, it's got that ability to do dome control. Prism has dome control.
Nina's got dome control.
Nina's
got it too, yeah.
Yeah, for people that are doing portable setups, it's just a matter of what it is that you like. Case in point, I love the SkyX because I love their graphical planetarium. I mean, that planetarium is absolutely fantastic. Awesome. It is awesome. It's the best one out there. I mean, it is really something. And then what's the one that's the Stellarium, right? That's another one that you can download from Google. Yeah. And that's another great free program. So,
have you heard about the newest? Have you heard about Pete? Have you heard about the newest? What's it called?
You were showing that to us about
3 love that one, Eric.
It's, what is it called here? Sky Guide. Dylan just did a video on Sky Guide. And this one, it's free, but you can also purchase. And this one looks really, really good. It goes through. It actually shifts the phases of the moon on your, because you can do it on your iPhone. It's like it's an iOS app. It shifts as far as the phases of the moon when you're speeding up through time and everything. It changes. It actually gives you some really good perspective of the Milky Way, of where it is, right off the Milky Way band, everything. I would recommend just downloading it. I think it's free. You can buy the paid subscription, but it's free. It looks really interesting.
But as you said, getting back to the software is that we remember when we do astrophotography, it's a 3-step process. First step is data acquisition. Yep. Second step is registration calibration. And third is post-processing. So, I mean, there's Maxim, there's Prism that will allow you to do all of that within just the one software package. Otherwise, you do have to get Nina, then you're going to have to get APP, PixInsight, and then a bunch of the other plugins. So, as Dan said a couple of weeks ago, just get one program, learn it, because once you learn it, it's so easy then if you want to go somewhere else, because it's just an easy
transition. Yeah.
But just get good at one software package.
Yeah, just pick one and choose and stick with it until you get it. Don't try and do like what is it? Jack of all trades, master of none type thing. And because then you end up doing well, for lack of a better term, 15 things half eat, and you don't want to do that, because you don't want to get almost comfortable with one, then jump to another one, then have to learn. You'll never get ahead of yourself.
Yeah. That's a hard trap to fall in, especially with the post-processing step. Lots of people are like, ooh, Photoshop. Everyone loves Photoshop. If you don't know Photoshop and you don't know PixInsight and you're starting astrophotography, just go with PixInsight.
I agree.
Just go with it, because they all have learning curves. I think the learning curve for Photoshop is harder than PixInsight personally, but
I would agree with you, Tegan. The only thing I use Photoshop for now is some of the plugins that I bought, the AstroTools and stuff like that. Because there are some things that Photoshop
They
does
work,
a little bit more
they work
efficiently.
in conjunction
Yeah.
very well. I will absolutely contest to that. They work very well together. Like after I'm finished with, PixInsight, I will bring it into Photoshop for some slight noise reduction because I like noise reduction in Photoshop, color adjustments,
Yep.
and
Little
selective
saturation,
sharpening,
little sharpening, things like that. Just about
Yes.
10%. You do 90% in your choice of software processing, and then 10% in Photoshop just to be able to touch it up.
That's
Absolutely.
basically,
Yeah.
before I really started getting into PixInsight, guys, I was using APP. I still use APP.
Yep.
APP is I think it's a very easy post-processing piece of software, and it's really inexpensive. It's about 160, $70 compared to PixInsight, or you can rent it for like $60 for a year.
Yeah, it's a renter's license.
You
Yep.
can put a renter's license. And for me, for quite a bit, I was doing APP, and because APP doesn't have noise reduction, I would just hop over into Lightroom. And Lightroom has noise
Lightroom
reduction.
is good too. Lightroom is good too. Yeah.
I would do that. I would use Lightroom for my noise reduction, a little bit of saturation and contrast, and call it good.
Yep.
So it just depends.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to just jump.
If you can find something, if you're just getting started and just depending on your budget, if you want to jump right into PixInsight, stick with PixInsight. If you've never done anything else, go into PixInsight and learn. And yeah, but if it's overwhelming to you a bit, consider something like an APP because it is a bit easier. And then, and I think, and then like me, then you can move into PI once you get a little bit more familiar with stuff.
Hey, Dan, what was that program that we used before APP and
We always
PixInsight?
talk about this.
Images
Plus.
That's it.
Images Plus?
Images Plus. As a matter of fact, I think I still have the CDs somewhere. I'm pretty sure I do, but
that tells you how old it is. It's on CD.
CD.
I'm gonna go get them. I think I know where they are.
I mean, it's so funny is that software. It's funny, like SGP was the big thing, and then Nina came in, and Nina's the big thing. I mean, I like Voyager, I like Prism, I like SkyX because each of them has something that is unique that I kind of like to do. But
Sure.
as you said, we look at post processing, and now it's definitely like APP and PixInsight. But it's funny; it's like every 3 years something new comes out, new package, new software, and the old stuff just kind of goes by the wayside.
So we have a new thing that I'm going to probably enter into the closet of death. This is the CD spindle of death, and as you can see look at what's on top. I mean,
What's it say?
What is that?
the Sky 6 original CD.
Nice fix.
Hold on, there was one. I got a new addition to it. Hold on a second.
I have one of those with just burnt CDs from high school. And
So I found a new addition to the CD spindle of death is here. Here you go. This is the original The Sky CD. Windows 95 compatible. Okay, so
play asteroids while I'm waiting for it to load.
on my Atari 2600. All right, so the Sky 6, Windows Vista SP2. Let's see. Oh, there it is. Images Plus.
Images Plus. Yep, they were the big one. They were the big one there in the like 2012, 2013.
Try again. 2006.
Oh, geez.
2006. And let's see what else is on here. Nothing in the death. What is this? Oh, Age of Empires 3 CD. Anything else that's good in here? Not more Images Plus.
I have a Frogger disc laying around somewhere.
Caesar.
You got
Caesar 3 for
Madden 95 in there.
I do not. I have Caesar
98, Mad 98, but
I do have NHL
98.
95 for what was that for? That was for my my PlayStation. Oh, my Sega CD.
PlayStation.
My Sega CD.
Yeah, that's going back.
Yeah, sorry, I digress. I apologize.
But anyway, that shows us how long we've been in this hobby, right?
Yeah, man. I mean, I was happy to find this. I told you, a gentleman came in. A gentleman came in with a really old original Nexstar 8. And in the Nexstar 8 package was this CD. And so I was like, Jeff, I'm taking this. This is a Sky Level 1 version 2.1, and the date is system requirement. Windows 3.1 or higher.
Hey,
Wow.
do you remember the days with the computers when they had those IRQ plugs? Remember the little pins that you
Oh,
had?
yes.
Otherwise, you
The
get
little-
those
the dip
conflicts.
The
Oh,
dip switches.
geez.
Oh God. I remember getting frustrated thinking, okay, what the hell's going on? I got this IRQ conflicting with this one. And I got to take that dip switch out and move it over here. And
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I do remember that. Oh my goodness.
funny.
This doesn't even have this doesn't even have a date on it. I wish it had a date on it. It doesn't have a date on it at all. But I mean, in Windows 95, it's got to be in that area somewhere. Obviously, if it's Windows 95, but
That's awesome.
Right.
so it's
Oh,
20,
God.
20 plus years old. So
Yep.
I remember back in '96, I was looking at maybe it was not whenever Astronomy Picture of the Day had their first images up. I would go on every single day and look at all those photos, just awestruck, like, man, like that
yeah.
would be so cool to be able to take these photos.
Oh yeah, now you're doing it, man. Oh man,
That's pretty cool.
yeah.
It gives you a great appreciation for where astronomy has come from. Imagine what guys, 100 years ago, like Edwin Hubble and and others that started this.
So we talked about
I
Hubble
just
being
can't
in
even
this
imagine
telescope.
the level of commitment.
Hell,
Huh?
Hubble used to spend the night up there at Mount Wilson in the telescope in freezing
With the
cold,
plate.
man. That guy was tough.
Looking
I
at
mean,
the
he
plates
was
and all
tough.
that.
No,
I
that's
mean,
okay.
now we're in the comfort of our own homes, and it's like below zero outside, right? And we're going, oh, this is kind of nice.
My ego could take the pain. It's okay.
Yeah.
Hey, Dan, did we get any photographs to critique and look at?
I haven't seen anything come across yet. Let's see. Astronomy tools calculator. Nothing on the Discord channel. Let's see.
Hey, I got an idea. How's this amongst the collective group here? What we'll do is the opening splash screen. What we'll do is say today we'll look at photographs, or Friday we'll look at photographs, and then we'll say, hey, this is the one that we're going to use for the next week for the splash screen on the AstroWorld. And that way, then when we log in, that photograph is up there for the week. What do you think? You think that might be a good idea?
That'll work. I can throw it on the website.
Are you talking about the website or for the show?
The show, the website, I don't know, Dan. What do you think? I mean, just we'll put it up for the 7 days. I mean, we'll say, hey, are we all in agreement that we like this one? If we all say, yep, that's the one we like, then the winner gets to be able to have his image as a splash screen on the show or on the website. I don't know. It's an idea.
Yeah, we could definitely do that. We could do it either or. We could do it on the website. We could do a astronomy photo of the week.
Yeah, why not? Let's just do that because it'd be kind of cool. I
do
think
that.
the membership would like that. Let's just kind of ask them, what was the membership like?
So
that would be kind of interesting, and if people start sending either to the Discord or to our web, or actually dropping them on the website.
Don't send it to the Discord because the pictures look like crap when you go on.
Yeah, that is true.
So if you want to throw it up there, just to throw something up there, that's fine to show everybody. But if you want us to put it somewhere, don't make me download it off Discord. I just won't.
Yeah, Josh in the comments said he sent one to us in the Discord.
I just got it for the Auriga Complex. I think we did
the
that.
Auriga Complex. Yeah, exactly.
Did we do that already? That was February 4th. No, that's just 2 days ago. Yeah, we can do that. Get this up here. No, we did this one. I thought. This is a resubmission. I think we did this already, even though this was only 2 days ago. Because I remember this picture, but I'll show it anyway. What happened to my feed?
I don't think I've seen this one.
No, you might not have, but I'm pretty sure this is a resubmission. Where is?
I'll spill my judgment upon it.
Yeah, you're gonna like. You're gonna like it. Let's see. Here we go.
Nice.
Wow.
Is that a what? Is that a?
This is the Auriga area.
Is that IC 405?
Yep.
Yep,
410,
that's right.
405.
You got the Flaming Star. You got 1907.
It looks like the spider and the flies.
You have the spider.
It
You have the fly.
should. He should have the tadpole in there somewhere, maybe, unless that's.
Yeah, the tadpole's right there next to the fly, over there to the right a little bit.
Got to be in here somewhere.
There's the flying. There's the Flaming Star right
There's
there.
the Flaming Star here.
Right, and then right below it to the left is.
Oh, yeah, there it is. There it is.
There it is. Yep.
Nice.
Yep, and then there's the fly right there, over a little bit further to the left, and then you got that nice star cluster just above.
Here?
Yeah, you got one there, and you got one right above.
Yeah.
Right here. Yep.
Yep. And then another one here.
I think there's a planetary nebula somewhere in the middle of that.
Right
top.
here.
Yeah. Hey, why don't you turn off the Pix Inside overlay for a second? There we go. Yeah.
Oh yeah, much better.
The star color is great. Like,
Yeah, star color is really good.
Star color makes or breaks an image. To be honest.
Yep.
And if you have good star color,
What's the specs on it? The scope, camera?
looks like a doublet or a lens.
Is
Go
this-
to the text. Go to
Obviously
the.
very wide.
If you click over there next to the like, there's a white button. Yep, right there. There you go.
Red Cat
Okay,
51.
51.
Oh, Red
Oh, nice.
Cat. Yeah.
Oh, with the rebel.
With the rebel.
Okay.
32 hours.
Whoa!
32.
Velocity there.
Wow.
That's incredible. 485 at 2 minutes. Look at that.
What are
Wow.
his does he said compared to the other versions that he I'd like to
Yeah. Yeah, right there. The final and yeah, there we go.
Oh wow. Yeah.
Yeah, look at the
Okay.
color coming out here.
Oh yeah.
The last one's a bit more subtle than the second one, which I think is good.
God, look at AE Aruga. Look how it just in 405, that AE Aruga star is just incredible.
Yeah.
It is.
Nice.
Yeah, really, very well done.
Yep. I mean, there's a lot of hours of
Do you have
integration.
any filters?
It looks like I saw a batter moon and
I know
sky
it's-
glow.
Yeah,
what's
he's
OSC, but-
using the batter moon and sky glow.
Yeah, but it looks like he's doing a combination of things here. So he used
Yeah.
485 by 2 minutes at ISO 4, 52nd at ISO 8. Then he did more with 226 with the batter moon and sky glow at 400. And then another 8 hours with the batter moon and sky glow at 800.
Yeah, he did a lot.
Yeah, he did a lot of work on that, man. Holy cow.
Yeah, that's nice.
Bortle 6.5.
Yep.
Ooh, that's that makes me hopeful.
It does not make me hopeful.
See, I'm in such a tough position. I'm so picky. Like I want to shoot LRGB. I want to shoot galaxies right now so bad.
Yeah.
But at f3.9, like my sub exposures have to be
5 seconds.
10-inch, light gathering bucket. Like it's I'm like, okay, what nebula can I shoot? Okay, there's the crab. Okay, there's and at this point I can shoot Orion again. Maybe a different field of view, I could do a mosaic. But like seeing this, and every once in a while I come across an image and it says like Bortle 7, and I'm like, you have to put in the hours, of course. You have to put in the hours.
Yep.
During a new moon, so you have to get kind of lucky there.
Hey
But,
Dan, can you pull up Able 85 CTB1? This is such a low surface brightness, but wait till you see this. It's so rare that this one ever gets imaged.
Yeah,
It's
actually,
HA3.
we went over this once.
Exactly, and I keep thinking that this is a perfect winter target that that anybody that's got some great look at this, isn't the detail in this thing incredible?
Yeah.
I mean,
Oh wow. Yeah.
I mean, it is just a beautiful target, and I tell you what, it's so rare that people get a chance. But look at the integration. Let's see what the time is on all these integrations. So 900 seconds. Yep.
63 hours. Yeah.
Yeah. This would be a project if you want to do, because it is a winter target.
Mm-hmm.
Isn't this like the, what is it, the balloon or the blown balloon or?
Well, they call it the garlic clove because it looks like
garlic clove. Yeah.
garlic clove, yeah. But I mean, it is such a beautiful.
You know,
target.
it's a great picture and all, but you know, I it's a great picture and all, but I'm not for nothing. I want to meet the trainer for the dog that took this picture.
Scott, go to sleep.
That's a good picture.
That's a good one.
That's beautiful.
That's with the C14 Edge.
Yep. So Scott, there you go.
16 hours.
What's he? He's okay. Is he? He's at the back of the scope. He's at the back of the scope.
He's at the back of the scope. He's using the 0.7.
He's at the 0.7.
Yep.
Yeah.
Go back up to that photo.
What filters?
Astrodon.
Yeah, that's that.
I was surprised. Can you
Astrodon filters.
Yeah, do a click. My favorite. I finished this recently. This image, not that well, collecting data and processing it. To the right, far right, about halfway up. Right, almost where your mouse is. There's that bot globule with that star. No,
This one right here?
No, one up.
This one?
Right. Nope. Yeah, that one.
This
right
one.
there. Yeah, you can resolve that central star. That's the coolest part of this entire nebula, in my opinion, is that small speck.
Right there.
That baby star, huh?
It's amazing what you see when you really bring it in and do a close up. I mean, it's amazing to see the detail.
This is why I get aperture fever.
Yep.
When you get stuff like this.
This is plane wave material. Believe me.
Oh.
There you go.
Look at that. That is amazing. Look at that.
If plane wave was affordable for a guy like me.
Like most of us.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sorry. Dropping 30K on a scope, right? I don't know.
You don't need to drop 30. You know, you can achieve that kind of resolution, you know.
Yes.
11, 14 inch. Like my new, I don't know, how about 10 inch, 899, and I've achieved a resolution that it's remarkable.
Yeah.
Just, you know what, Eric? Just be happy with what you got. Believe me.
That's exactly it.
Absolutely.
That's exactly it.
You can live vicariously through others, and
Yes,
that's
I'll
it.
live vicariously through others, and I'm happy to do so.
Me too.
The bigger, the more headaches you get.
Oh gosh, yeah. And we were already having this conversation, you know, earlier offline, you know, with that Orion optics that Dan was talking about.
Mm-hmm. I told them about the ODK.
Oh, yeah.
And I was like, you know, this is the reason why I decided to stick with Schmidt's. You know, as far as complexity, that's probably the highest I'm going to go as far as complexity, because RCs and CDKs to deal with collimation and all that stuff. Oh, no.
Listen, it's not easy. It's a challenge, but
it is a challenge.
It is
I've
a challenge.
challenges in my life.
Eric, you mix like water and oil.
You'll end up having to recoat the mirror, so you got to ship the mirror to get recoated. Then you have to get it reconfigured after 5 or 7 years. So believe me, it's a money pit. It's like buying a boat.
Yeah,
you put money into it.
We got an image from.
I agree with Ernie. I'd rather get more clear skies. I'd rather spend that $30,000 to move to a place like New Mexico or Arizona. You know,
listen. Eric, between you and me, I don't know who has the worst skies. I still say I got it because I got the Portal 9. So I'm gonna say I got the worst skies out of everybody. And you know what? We have just as bad weather as you do. Yep. But I think my skies are just worse because of the light pollution here.
Light pollution.
It's just horrible. I mean, it's it's really depressing that, I'm really, Tegan was talking about his trials, and you're what, Tegan? You're at like a Bortle 6, 7?
Yeah, Portal 7.
Bortle 7, and you're saying RGB. I really want to do RGB. I want to do galaxies, but you know what? I'm Bortle 7, and I'm at Bortle 8, 9, and I am relegated to honestly just narrowband at this point. I did a nice M101, and I'll probably revisit that one more time when it comes back around. But I'm taking 30-second shots though. It's not. It's really not an easy task by any means.
Yeah. I honestly, I do consider myself fortunate to have, basically these Bortle 5 skies, so I can do RGB. It's just the weather right now, but this is everybody's dealing with this weather mess that that everybody's has that problem.
Yeah, we just got a pic from Mark Ellis.
I like shooting nebula and RGB.
Mm-hmm.
And I shot the Pac-Man from my Bortle 7 skies in RGB. I only spent like 4 hours on it total.
Okay.
I used it for my star data in my SHO image.
Yeah.
And I was so pleasantly surprised by the amount of data. So it makes me
hopeful.
Yeah.
Hopeful. And it is. I mean, I can show you my actually, it's. I think it's right behind me. Actually, that's my M101.
Yeah.
In RGB from Long Island. And for what it is, I think that was done with I think that was done with an 80.
Okay.
But for what it is, I mean, it's doable. But here's let's see if I can get Mark's picture up here. And we'll show that on the screen. Okay, so we got M51 here.
M51.
Yep.
Okay, so everyone's quiet.
No, I'm observing the beautiful diffraction spike.
I am. Yeah, that's nice.
Oh,
but no, this is really nice.
It's Mark. Did you put that diffraction spike in? Because it looks like you're trying to cover up that blue halo, but it looks good. Believe me. I do that once in a while too.
I see spikes throughout.
Like, yeah, I do. I see spikes in everything.
Yeah.
The tidal tail.
Yeah, take it with an RC10.
That's gotta be shot with an RC.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome.
You know what I really like? I'll show you what I really like about this picture. That guy.
Yeah.
That guy.
Dan, look at the 1 o'clock position. Look at the smaller one in the 1 o'clock
position. The 1 o'clock. You see it? Go back.
And then the one down at the 5 o'clock position.
Well, that one I saw. This one down here. Okay.
Yeah, but no. Zoom back in and go to 1 o'clock. Over, right above. Yeah, right. Keep going.
Right there.
Right there.
Look at that.
I don't know. I kind of like that one. But I mean, if the only thing that I could possibly, I mean, the star colors are awesome. The noise reduction looks good. JPGs are kind of tough to see, but I might take the brightness back a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
I might take it back. I think you're washing out some of the spiral arms a little bit. And like he said it's a work in progress. So, this is not done yet. But I mean, me personally, just from my point of view, and again, it doesn't matter what the hell I say, but I might just kick back the brightness of the galaxy just a touch, just so you can bring out the definition in the galaxy a little bit more.
Bring up the contrast a little bit.
Yep.
Yeah, use a luminance mask and bring the midtones of the background down.
There you go. Perfect.
Mark, is that a defect? Is that a defective column that you got under that blue sky, that star? It looks like a column.
Right here?
Yeah. Does it go all the way down, or does it just partial? Okay, it just goes partially down.
So it could be a partially bag. It could be. Yeah.
Yeah. It's not a defective column. So, but it is. It's just a little work in progress to get rid of that. Maybe clone it out.
Clone stamp.
Yeah.
Yep.
Nice. Nice.
Nice image, Mark. Nice job, man.
Well done.
You know what, Mark? Sometimes when we do this and we see defects like this, do like a really, really crazy, unbelievable stretch on it. It may pop out on you when you see it, and it might come in under, just under registration and integration. It may just come out. But if you do a super stretch on it, see if that kind of comes out, because that to me looks like to me. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, guys. It looks like a partial bag column.
Yeah.
That's what it looks like.
Yeah.
And if you make a defect map in Pix Insight, that could take care of that too.
Hey, take a look at that. Is that a planetary nebula? You see the yellow star on the far right there. Is that a planetary or is that a galaxy?
It could be.
Looks like a galaxy.
Wow, look at them. Look at all the galaxies.
Galaxy.
There's another one here.
Yeah, there's one right there.
I think that might be one.
That's incredible. Look at that. When you start to really zoom in, look at all the galaxies that we're looking at.
Yeah.
I was reading this thing the other day.
Look at this guy.
I was reading this article the other day about these quasars. We all know that quasars were at the very start after the Big Bang, right? They were saying that the farthest most quasar that we can see right now, it's saying that the light that leaves it today, people on Earth, if there is an Earth around, would never ever be able to see that light. It's just so far, it's redshifted so far that it's moving away that nobody will ever see that galaxy. It'll just be gone. And I'm just thinking, man, that is just an incredible concept when you think about light. I mean, it's so far out there that not even light can be able to reach us.
Yeah, it makes you think, maybe like humans evolved to the point in which we have missed something. Because we can no longer see it, but who knows? James Webb.
Yeah, exactly. Well, Jason Jane sent us an article about the largest galaxy that has just been imaged. Something like 5 megaparsecs.
Ooh,
like 17 million light years.
Ridiculous. It's now the largest object photographed to date. Largest galactic photograph. It's really amazing. I'll throw that in it's already in the Discord, I think, from Jason. If it's not, I'm sure I could get. He might have just sent it in the Facebook chat. I could throw that in there. But it's an interesting read. Take a look at it. Let's see if I have it here real quick for you. Is it me, or since Facebook turned into Meta, it got really slow?
Yeah, I don't know.
Or maybe it's just my computer.
Maybe just you.
Could be. And let's see if I'll throw this up there. And we're AstroWorld admins. And yeah, here it is. And
one of the studies that I was a part of years ago. I read an article from a couple of Australian astronomers, not just astronomers. These guys were astrophysicists, and Barry Setterfield and Trevor Norman, and they did a peer-reviewed paper on light and how light has been subject to the first law of thermodynamics and entropy. And I'm sorry, not the first law, the second law, which is that everything is winding down, and that what they noticed was that from 1611, from when Olaf Romer first measured the speed of light and realized that light actually had a measurable speed, that it was prior to that everybody considered to be instantaneous, And Romer came up with this idea from observing the eclipses of Io, in Jupiter, that light actually had speed, and he was plus or minus 30,000 kilometers a second, And from that point, light has been measured 300 300 some odd times the speed of light. And what Trevor and Barry Setterfield and Trevor Norman discovered is that they went back and they took a look at all of the data that had been accumulated over the years. Mm-hmm. And they discovered that the mean on the speed of light has been slowing down. And they caught so much hell for that. You wouldn't believe how much hell they caught for that. Because everything that we know about the universe is based on c, the speed of light, c being a constant. Right. And if that isn't true, which they have realized that the speed of light is actually slowing down, and that throws everything into it throws everything up in the air. Chemistry, everything. It throws all the formulas are based on c being a constant. That in there, that one will twist you up when you start thinking about the speed of light. Actually,
it's not being a constant. Yeah, it's not being consistent. Yeah.
Interesting.
I got to throw this out. Is it absolute or is it perceptive? Because once again, we rely upon our eyesight to see, right? So is it absolute? Because once again, if we're talking about light in a vacuum, right? There's nothing to impede it. It's just a vacuum. But when we talk about something that's receding, it's red shifted. So that would tell me that if it's red shifted, it's moving away from us. So once again, that's perception.
Yeah.
Well,
that out.
That also, and I am not as smart as you two. I'm not even going to even try. But let's think about this for a second. All these observations are done from Earth, right? And all stuff that we know of here. That's the first thing. The second thing is it possible that the reason why light may be slowing down in terms of gravity could gravitational fluxes be making light slow down?
Yeah.
So, to your point, Pete, whether it's instantaneous or not, is it instantaneous in space?
I don't think light slows down due to gravity wells, though, because it just takes the fastest.
No.
But can gravity be a function of slowing down?
You have to remember too that gravity is the weakest of the forces.
Yes, it is.
By far, it is the weakest of the forces. The electromagnetic force makes gravity look like an absolute wimp. It is 10 to the 38th stronger than gravity. The electromagnetic force is crazy powerful. The way it was explained to me was that if you can imagine, and I'm gonna screw up the analogy on this one. You have to bear with me. If you were to take a basketball and move it 4.5 miles away, right? How much gravity would the two basketballs? How much gravity would they have 4.5 miles away? That's the same distance, for our closest galaxy, which is Alpha Centauri. It's 4.5 light years away. And the gravitational forces between those stars, there's way too much distance for gravity to have any effect at all. But electromagnetism, on the other hand, that's a different story. There are actually, I think there are only, in the observable universe, in the observable sky, there are only 2 galaxies that I know of that are actually gravitationally linked. And that's the Pleiades and Orion.
Yep.
Those are the only 2 that are gravitationally linked. Everything else, the distances are so great that gravity doesn't affect it.
Well, is that the Pleiades?
Pleiades, M45 is not a galaxy.
Yeah.
Pleiades are.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean galaxy. Objects that are in the sky. Observable objects, not galaxies. I got stuck in my head on galaxies.
So Scott, on your point, I'm going to throw another crunch.
Oh, here we go.
Can only observe the visible electromagnetic spectrum, right? 300 nanometers to 750. We got infrared. Infrared is it still light? It's heat, right? And once again, energy can be transformed into sound, light, whatever. Well, we know in a vacuum you can't hear. But it's not to say that you can't generate heat, right? Even though we know that the space is at absolute zero or whatever. We've seen that with the CMA. But my question is that maybe when you say light is slowing down, is it because of the fact that we just can only see it in that visual spectrum of light? You know, red, green, blue, ultraviolet, but there's infrared, there's ultraviolet, there's that whole different wavelengths on the electromagnetic spectrum. So food for thought to consider.
Well, the other thing about the measuring of the speed of light is that it wasn't always measured by distance of stars. The recent, like within the last 50, 60, 70 years, you know, the recent measuring of light has been done here on Earth with lasers. And and that light is slowing down.
Yeah.
Well, yeah,
the mean in the measuring.
Over time, is the measurements remaining the same as the the variables? You know, like.
Well,
now that you say that,
if you think about it, it follows. Everything is subject to entropy. Everything. So why not light?
You guys are way too smart for me.
Yeah, I'm with you, Eric. I'm lost.
Yeah. It's just like,
No, well, another thing. You're also talking about spanning measurements of 400 years of measurements. Pretty much, you're talking about
That's right.
from the early 1600s to now. So that being said,
what kind of data are they collecting?
Yeah, man. Somebody did it at 8 o'clock. Somebody did it at nighttime. No wonder why it's slowing down, because there's no light at night. But
that was one of the observations that people were making. Let me get this. Of course, their measuring techniques were getting better.
That's where I was going.
Their over and under was getting smaller and smaller, right?
Right, but that's where I was going. I mean,
but
the technique in 1600 of measurement
techniques are getting better, and the over and under is getting smaller. But those things should not change the mean. The mean should stay the same. If the speed of light is constant and stable at a specific speed, the mean should stay the same.
True. It's global warming.
But you just said the light speed is not constant anymore.
Elon Musk satellites are making everything.
Yeah, they're screwing up everything.
Yeah, they're all screwing it up.
They're not only screwing up the night sky, they're screwing up the speed of light too. So,
Scott, I remember a phone conversation you and I had about a year ago till about 2:30 or 3 in the morning about this.
Oh my God, we went on forever.
Well, this is only a 2.5 hour show, so I mean,
and again.
Yeah, I definitely don't want to.
I'm not a physics major or anything like that. I'm an IT guy. I fix computers. I don't go much further than that.
I hear you, Eric. I'm with you, brother.
It's cow flatulation. That's what it is.
That's pretty much it.
There you go. So somebody said, AZ4 said, it's global warming. More CO2 in the atmosphere is slowing everything down.
Well, why don't we do this then? I got Dan. I think we're all in agreement that maybe what we'll do is we'll pick a photograph as a splash screen for the show for the next week. So maybe on Friday we'll just have, hey, everybody, just send in photographs, and then we'll just pick the right one, and that'll be the splash screen for the following week. What do you think?
There you go. That'll work.
Okay.
That'll work.
So, okay, guys, you hear that? So send in your photographs, and where do you want to have them send in to?
Guys, send it to, well, if you don't have access to the Discord channel, get access to the Discord channel. And once you're picked, you can send it to me on my email so I can get, so it doesn't blow up my email with all these fit files. Just do me a favor, throw it on Discord. I'll get it to all of us, and we'll vote on it. And then we'll throw it in there, and then I'll email the winner to send me the right photograph.
Yeah, get it converted to a JPEG.
Yeah, turn it to a JPEG and then send it over to us on Discord or something. I don't know.
Yep, that'll work. And throw it in the photograph entries. There's a Discord channel server for photograph entries, so throw it in there.
Yeah, and if you can, make sure that when you do convert it, if you convert it in Photoshop, or something, to a JPEG, that you do it in a high resolution JPEG.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. So do it at like 12 or whatever.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right.
But all I can say to that is if we do this, it'll probably, I would say we set it as we can't choose the same photographer twice in a row.
In the same, yeah, I agree. I
We
agree.
mix it up a little bit.
That I agree with. Yeah. So
Well, of course, we don't have any submissions. Right?
you know what? I get submissions all the time from multiple different people on the Discord channel of pictures and stuff. So I get at least 10 a week, if not more.
Yeah,
So
I wonder if these people are, they'd be curious to see, Eric's and Dan's photos. And
well,
Peter's.
you know what? If I had a clear
Are we
sky,
credible sources to be judging one's photo?
Dude,
no.
I'm eking out, like an hour here or 2 hours here, and then all of a sudden it's like clouds, and then I'm like, okay, then maybe I can eke out 30 minutes there.
Yeah, it's horrible, man. It's horrible.
Yeah.
It is so hard.
I'm just hoping that after this month things will start clearing up. That would be nice. Usually March in New York is pretty decent. So just in time for not only the Messier Marathon, but right in time for Galaxy season. So which I can't do anyway because I'm doing narrowband. But
Galaxy season has started 2 months ago for me. So.
What's that?
Galaxy season started 2 months ago, and I think so.
Yeah. NASA is putting out warnings about Musk junk creating hazards for space flights. Well,
Hey,
should have stopped them from putting the stuff up then to begin with.
Really though, I'm telling you, it's just I cannot imagine the amount of space junk from the 1960s. That's and to now. All of the stuff that's been launched, all of the different satellites.
Oh yeah, there's a picture of all the space junk.
All of the space debris. Yeah, have you? It's amazing.
It's a big orbital ring around. That's what it's going to be. Earth is going to be a ringed planet.
Yeah,
and it's going to be all the junk around the planet.
Exactly.
We can just weld that junk together and create our own Dyson sphere around Earth. That's what's
dude.
There you go.
Get started. Many people don't know what that is, but us Star Trek fans know what it is.
Don't watch Moonfall.
It's when that Chinese booster rocket lands on the moon, and I'm going, that's all we need now is to start hitting the moon with booster rockets, right?
Yeah, and then all of a sudden,
there's
your
an
moon
artificial crater. We've just created another artificial crater.
Yeah, your moon's gonna start looking like Thundar the Barbarian, and invite.
Yeah, the ability for us to even do the kind of work that we do is fairly miraculous.
It is.
Just to be able to look up in a clear sky and see what we see with our telescopes. It really is. Not for nothing. I a week ago or so, I think it was, I put a link up in one of the I think it was in the AstroWorld chat. It was a program that I had seen a while ago, and I revisited it. My son is doing some science stuff, and we revisited it. And it's a program called The Privileged Planet. I don't know if you guys have ever heard of Guillermo Gonzalez or Jay Richards. Gonzalez is an astrobiologist, and it's his job to kind of look for habitable worlds, on in other galaxies and all this. The presentation is really wild, and it shows how amazing we are. The positioning of where we are between the Sagittarius and Perseus arms of the galaxy, and where we are to be even able to see what we see is crazy miraculous. It's a really good presentation. I think you'll enjoy it. The Privileged Planet. It's on YouTube for free.
Where is it?
It's really good.
Where can
I put the link up in the chat, but
okay.
just look up Privileged Planet. It's really good.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
Nice recommendation.
Yeah. I tell you, I'm serious. If I can get some clear nights, I can actually get the FLT 91 out here, because I want, while it's still relatively cold weather, I want to put out my full frame, get the 6D mounted to this guy, and see if I can actually do some full frame shots with this, without having to worry about it, getting too hot.
Yeah, shoot. Yeah, point to. I guess the only place you could point to is Orion with a full frame camera and an FLT 91 or Rosette. That would be cool.
Yeah, the Rosette. I mean, I can get if I go to Orion, I can actually, because I was looking at Sky Safari, I could probably frame the horse head and all three of the belt stars. So it would be interesting. I think I would like to try that if I can get the opportunity. I would like to try to see if I can grab all three of the belt stars, and the horse head. See how that comes out. That would be a nice, and then this with this, I'm actually using the NB. I'm going to use the NBZ with it because the 6D is unmodded, but I'm going to use the NBZ with it and see if I end up with any type of vignetting, because the image circle says, according to William Optics, the image circle, I should be able to utilize a 48,
48 millimeter diagonal.
The 48 millimeter filter, diagonal. I have that diagonal, so I should be able to use a 2-inch filter with very minimal, if any, vignetting. So
44 millimeter center.
Yeah, I have the 44 millimeter sensor, right. So I should.
You have 4 millimeters of space on the edges.
Yeah,
you might have some slight vignetting or light.
Right, some slight vignetting. Well, nothing I can't really deal with.
Ember square law will get you.
Yeah. So it'll be something very interesting.
Just get a square Astrodon, man. Just go for the square.
But no, so people are at, because I did see a few posts about, when am I going to do my first review or video on the FLT 91? When I get a clear night, or at least a series of clear nights, I'll do something.
Yeah, good luck. I wish you all good luck with that. It's so bad. I mean, literally, that got it's all cloudy, because if my rigs are in like pieces all over the house. I got my 80 over there that I just finished testing on M45, so that's okay. I got my 127 still waiting on the Arco adapter, so I that's in, I'm just waiting to put that together. And then I have, what else? I got my 200L lens on my little mini rig in pieces over here, so I really don't have a rig that's put together right now.
Yeah.
You have these systems like I can't decide what's worse, having something put together ready to image and you get cloudy nights, or having everything set out and it's a full moon with snow on the ground and everything's reflective and it looks like you're imaging at 3 in the afternoon.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know what's more torturous. So I've honestly had a slew of probably 10 to 12 clear nights in the past month.
Better than us.
Yeah. But I haven't captured a single photon because the moons, and then that coupled with the snow, the ice on the ground. I'm like, I'm not gonna like what I capture, so I'm setting myself up for disappointment here. But then like these clear nights keep coming. I'm like, well, I could have gathered like 60 hours of data. Like that could have been something worth it.
Yeah. Yep. I mean, I did have a couple of clear nights over the past of this week, but again, my rigs are all over the place, and I'm just waiting up. Damn precise parts, man. It's a wonderful thing, but it's a month to get what you need, and it's a shame. But what are you gonna do? What's that?
Oh, my phone's ringing. My work phone was ringing. I'm thinking, who's calling me now? I'm not working.
It's Dr. Spiro.
Man.
All right, fellas, we're up on 2.5 hours.
Yeah. We're good. Yeah.
Good. Well, that being said, I mean, don't forget our Friday night is going to be the giveaway for the planetary camera. Don't forget to get your chances. $5 each, max of 10. That's like a 290 camera. Basically, it's by player one. It's a Neptune C camera with the IR cut filter. So that goes right away, and we'll send it out. Hopefully like who is it, Senthil or one of our other friends from the UAE don't win it because I don't want to have to ship it over there. But that being said,
you don't want Tarek to win it.
what? No,
You don't
Tarek. No,
want
Tarek. You know what? Tarek. You may pay more in duties than what the camera's worth. So we may just have to work something else. Actually, he didn't buy anything anyway. But like all these raffles that we do, all that money that we get for these raffles goes towards the next raffle. So we don't make any money on this kind of stuff. We don't want to make money. It's all about getting more gear and everything for. It's like it's our own little pyramid scheme for more gear. So that's what it is. So now literally we already made the money back for this camera.
Right.
We have about $400 in the kitty right now between the two raffles for the next raffle. So I don't know what the next one's going to be. We'll have to talk about that together. So don't forget on the fall, we're also going to have Simon Lewis on this Friday as well to do the reveal of the AM5, which is going to be really, really cool to take a look at. And then we got all the list of guests that we got from Rumen on the 25th to Roland on the 9th. Then we got Hendrick on the 18th. And then I think the 6th was Bob, Denny, and then the 13th was Charles Bracken. So we got a lot of stuff going on. And it's going to be a lot of fun with all these guys. All these guys are coming out and liking what's going on with what we're doing with AstroWorld. Then it gets everybody a lot of information that maybe you won't be able to get without scouring the internet. So final thoughts for anybody?
No.
Go ahead, Eric.
No, I really don't have any.
It's late. It's late.
It's late.
It's going to rain.
It's late. It's late, and I might be getting snow, so I'm not doing nothing.
Don't blow it this way, man. Keep it out there. Go north. Go north.
Yeah, go north. No kidding.
I'm going to reach out to our viewer membership and the ones that are still with us. Please pass the word. Have your friends, have your relatives, anybody that's interested, please have them come on, sign up, become part of the membership, become part of the family, enjoy the informal banter that we do here. Hopefully that you guys enjoy it. And as Dan says, we got some great guests. I trust that you all enjoyed Dr. Christian Sassy last week. He was really informative.
Oh, yeah, he was.
He's got a really special project for us when he gets down to Australia, and I've talked to him about it, and he's looking forward to doing that with us. So, as I said, we've got some very good stuff coming down the pipe. So please spread the word.
Yeah, and one of the things you're definitely not going to want to miss as well, and not to mention that, but when we have the Prima Luce guys on, they're going to give us a tour of Prima Luce Labs in Italy. And that's going to be really, really, really cool to see. So it'll be a recorded show, definitely because of the time lag. But it'll be a recorded show, and we'll play it on, and then we'll recap on a live show. So it's going to be a lot of fun. We got what's his name too? Colin Haig coming from Diffraction Limited, and
we'll get Hamza coming in from Hyperion.
Hamza, yep.
We'll get him on.
If we can get Mabula from APP on, that would be awesome.
We'll try.
I'll get him. I'll get him to come on.
Yeah.
So,
it'd be very cool. I'd like to get what's his name from Sharp Cap too.
Robin
Glover. Yeah, Robin Glover. Yeah, I'd like to get him on. But
all possibilities.
Yeah, definitely all possibilities. And of course, we'll probably in the future have the one, if not all, of the Masters of Pix Insight and Sean Nielsen and all them coming on as well. They're the repeat offenders for AstroWorld, and so and that's really all I got. Scott, you got anything?
Yeah, stay tuned. Got a new YouTube video going up on Astro Playground, and as soon as I can get this, I figure out how to get this beast, out onto my my patio safely. I'm gonna have to have some kind of a ramp to do it, but we'll be imaging, probably Hyperstar. So
nice.
Stay tuned.
Nice. All right, and that being said, everybody have a good night. Stay safe, and always keep imaging, keep educating, and clear skies. And we'll see, hopefully clear skies. And we'll see you Friday night. Have a good night, everybody.
See you guys.
Bye-bye.
See you, everybody.
Bye for now.
Good night.
And we're out.